Championship will start in 2 minutes. The RoCo Radio pregame show, presented by Penrose Car Wash and Cooler Ice, gets underway at the state championship game in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Tonight's broadcast of the 4A State Championship between Reidsville and Salisbury will start with your pregame show in 1 minute. The RoCo Radio pregame show, presented by Penrose Car Wash and Cooler Ice, gets you ready for tip-off in just 30 seconds. The following is a presentation of RoCo Radio Sports. One last ride for Rams fans across this land. Tonight's the night, the final act of a sold-out Deontay Neal Legacy Tour. At stake, the perfect stamp on an unforgettable NCHSAA dynasty run. Tonight, Mr. Basketball takes center stage on the hardwood one last time in a Reidsville uniform. And while the impact of the Rams point guard is forever sealed across this great state, there's still one final achievement to unlock for his team, for his program, and for his community. For the mighty Rams of Reidsville, a team, the team, doubted by so many to make this run, tonight marks a return to their secondary home, Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum, for the fourth consecutive postseason. Their goal, put into words, is simple: bring home a third consecutive championship ring. But its meaning to this city is heavier than anything written, spoken, or even measured. Tonight, standing in the way is a familiar foe. The last four postseasons, the Salisbury Hornets, fresh off a buzzer-beater half-court heave against Central Davidson in the regional finals. While the West champions answered the bell to adversity in the final seconds, it was your mighty Rams of Reidsville who climbed their own mountain of adversity. With Deontay Neal and several other teammates battling the flu and Mario Ingram out, Reidsville avenged their only regular season loss over the last 4 years, as Paul Cawthon and his cavalry secured a 59-58 win against Washington. Down on the baseline, far side, pass it into Neal, who walks it up midcourt. Looks to work the offense, hands it off to Cawthon, drives at the free throw, spins in the lane with two hands. Paul Cawthon, this is your world. 11 points, 33-31, cut it to a 2-point deficit. Bounce pass to Neal off the midcourt logo. 2:45 to play here in the third. A 37-34 lead for Washington. Reidsville with the basketball. Into the corner, Coffin. A three, got it!
First tie since 0-0.
17 points for Coffin and a tie ball game with 2:30 to play here in the third. Timeout, Washington. Neal with the basketball, tie ball game. Rams moving left to right. Works on the far side wing, covered by two. Gibbs trying to trap him in the corner alongside Garris. He'll step out of the coverage. OD thought about setting a screen, instead will settle back inside the low post. Get it to Coffin. He'll handle it up top with the right hand. Robinson enters the lane from the mid post. Stop and pop from the elbow. Paul Coffin. Far side, he's got 19. Rams lead it for the first time, 39-37. Neal looking for a foul call on ball. Instead, he'll settle back. Gets past Gibbs. Looks in the lane. Stops, hesitates. Gets the layup attempt. Gets his own rebound on the miss. Back to the top, wide open. Tyson Broadway. Drain it. Tyson Broadway. He's got 8, 2 big threes in this one. One in the second quarter, one here in the fourth. Gives the Rams a 2-point lead, 44-42, with 5:20 to play. What a look from Neal. He had the layup, couldn't get it to fall. Got his own rebound at 5'9". Looked back to the perimeter, right at the top, standing all alone was the signal caller, the cornerback, the big shot man, Tyson Broadway. By Neal on the inbound. Past the timeline, left to right, covered tightly full court by Josiah Gibbs from the elbow. He How did he make that? From the elbow! He was pushed. He just threw it up with one hand. They see it drops. And one. 46-42 Rams. The second is in and out. Rebound goes to Smith. 19 seconds to play. 3-point ball game. Near side, Garris looking to drive in the corner. Will have a foul before the shot. It's a charge. Setting his feet is Frankie Galloway. Oh, Frankie. 15 seconds left in a 3-point lead. Rams basketball. Broadway's free throw is in and out. Rebound goes to Outlaw into the hands of Garris. Spins at midcourt. 5 seconds remaining. Heaves from the wing. It doesn't fall. Rebound goes inside. Outlaw off the glass. It's good, but that doesn't matter. Here in Reidsville, it's Championship City. Revenge in the regional finals is oh so sweet. The Reidsville Rams avenge their only regular season loss in the last 4 seasons and book a final stop on the Legacy Tour, a 4th consecutive state championship game. In the regional final, it was Batman putting Superman on his shoulders to get the mighty Rams to the promised land. Now the best guard duo in the state of North Carolina is at full strength, looking to deliver one last win for the City of Champions. They'll look to do so against a tough, fundamentally sound Salisbury squad looking for revenge of their own. From the campus of Wake Forest University, inside Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum, it's the 4A State Championship. Will the Reidsville Rams stamp their legacy as a basketball dynasty? Or will the Hornets continue their magic March run and bring home a state title for the first time since 1987? It's Salisbury and your Reidsville Rams right here, right now on RoCo Radio and RoCoRadio.com. The NCHSAA 4A State Championship is brought to you by our longtime sponsors, whose passion is to highlight our student athletes on the court and the coaches that help mentor them on and off the hardwood. The 4A State Championship game is brought to you by Tri-State Steel in Reidsville, Penrose Car Wash in Reidsville, and Cooler Ice across Rockingham County. Tri-State Steel in Reidsville, distributing quality metals for over 30 years. Our clients range from mom and pop shops and building contractors to large manufacturers and fabricators. Visit us at our 6,000 square foot, fully stocked retail metals superstore at 2513 Richardson Drive, where we can help you meet your homeowner or hobbyist needs. Open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a.m. till noon. From pipe bollards to square tubing to finger guard material and more, our Retail Metals Superstore has several quality metal products in stock in various sizes and ready to be cut to your exact specifications. Call for a quote today at 280-4859. That's 336-280-4859. For Tri-State Steel, a valued community member and a big fan of your Reidsville Rams. Today's coverage of the 4A State Championship is brought to you by Penrose Car Wash. Voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County, Penrose Car Wash at 1509 South Scales in Reidsville has been serving the Reidsville and surrounding area for nearly 60 years. Established in 1970, this popular venue welcomes everyone. Penrose Car Wash open 24/7 and find us on Facebook. Penrose Car Wash voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County 3 years in a row, rooting on your Reidsville Rams in another state championship game. Today's 4A State Championship game on RoCo Radio is brought to you by Cooler Ice. Looking for a fresh ice and water option that's ready when you are? Cooler Ice is countywide. Find fresh ice and water at Little Caesars Pizza in Mayodan, 6734 NC 135 across from Walmart. Or visit our local Cooler Ice dispenser at Schul's Home, 1635 Freeway Drive in Reidsville. And for all your ice and water needs, you can also find us at Penrose Car Wash in Reidsville at 1509 South Scales Street or Two Rivers Plaza in Eden at 307 West Meadow Road. Get Cooler Ice, great tasting, fresh ice, available 24/7 at all 4 locations, 16 pounds or 32 pounds, plus premium water by the gallon or 5 gallons at Cooler Ice, fresh and ready when you are. Cooler Ice, a championship ice distributor supporting a championship level program. We now bring you courtside inside Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum for the 4A State Hoops Championship and your RoCo Radio pregame show, presented by Penrose Car Wash and Cooler Ice. We've reached the final stop of the Legacy Tour. One more matchup to a three-peat for your Reidsville Rams. Hello and welcome to Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum for today's state championship matchup between the Salisbury Hornets at 23-7 and your Reidsville Rams at 23-1. Legacy is what today is about. They've got to play it on the hardwood, but a legacy for these Reidsville Rams that without a doubt is already solidified. But today, Deontay Neal, the senior class, looks to cement what they've done over the last 4 seasons in a record that is unmatched over that time frame at 109-2. Joe Dexter alongside my friends Jonathan Hatley and Jay Ramey courtside here at Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum. It's your pregame show presented by Penrose Car Wash and Cooler Ice. We'll start with you, Hatman. Legacy in Reidsville basketball over the last few years, they're a thing that are cemented together.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're talking, they've got the chance to be the second in the state this weekend to three-peat. And they were the only 2 that had a chance to do it. If that's not legacy, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I think heading into Deontay Neal's tenure, there's a lot of buzz about class of 2026. I think we've got to think about the fact that the class of 2026 would end with more basketball rings than football rings. And Reidsville's known as a football school, great basketball legacy already. Only 20 high schools have 4 rings currently. So heading into this tenure, I mean, it's already a good basketball school, but joining there's only 5 other teams that have 7 basketball rings. So completely changing the legacy of Reidsville high school sports, where they're not just a football school and basketball an afterthought. They're a football and a basketball school now. If they keep this up past Deontay's tenure, there's been very few three-peats all time. And it's wild to think that they'll join New Hanover, Kinston, R.J. Reynolds, Farmville Central, and West Charlotte as active high schools with 7 or more basketball rings. Crazy.
Their 8th championship appearance for the Rams. They're looking to make it a three-peat, and it starts with Deontay Neal. But he may be Superman. There's a Batman in town in the City of Champions. Paul Cawthon stepping up in the regional finals against Washington. 27 points, 10 for 17 from the floor, 5 steals, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and just 1 turnover. This postseason, guys, 26 points per game and shooting 58% from the floor.
Yeah, and I like that you call him Batman and Superman rather than Batman and Robin, even though Cawthon's second in a lot of categories. He proved he's his own man. He's a superhero in his own right when he got the win at East Carolina. Magnificent performance, and we'll see more of him in the next 2 years.
When you break it down, you look at the playoff run for Reidsville. A lot of it has been Cawthon stepping up due to the illness last week, Jonathan. But alongside Neal and him in the play that they work in the backcourt, it helps this front court, who has also stepped up late in the season.
Yeah, I mean, you've had O'Darian Carter. He's really come on strong of late. Mario Ingram, he's a force on the boards and blocking shots. And Jordan Robinson's played really well down low at times, grabbing rebounds, scoring some points here and there. People talk about Robin. Well, Robin was in the Teen Titans. This is the Justice League, baby.
For the Rams, their playoff run, an 89-45 win over Anson started things off. A close 8-point game against Randleman in round 3, a 70-62 win against Eastern Wayne, a 10-point win in the regional semis, 80-71, and a 59-58 win over Washington. For Salisbury, they enter this game 23-7. They shot 38% from the floor last time out in the regional finals, a 1-point win over Central Davidson, a game that was tied 19-19 at the half, 30-30 after 3. Eli Staten hit that go-ahead three-pointer for Central Davidson, but then it was the freshman Royce Perkins doing things that we love to see in March to get them here. We talked about the playoff run for Reidsville. That's something that this program's used to, getting here for the 4th consecutive season. For Salisbury, they're here in the state championship for the first time since 1987. What does this playoff run mean for the Hornets?
Well, Salisbury's been going deep into the playoffs pretty much year in and year out. And, for the last 3 years, they ran into the buzzsaw. This time, opposite sides of the bracket. So they get to meet in the finals instead of in the regionals.
I think it's less of a – how do I put this? It's a legacy builder for Salisbury, just that they – not going to say ruin, but tarnish the legacy of the Reidsville Rams. There are certain teams in history, in sports, that it's like they're a big deal just because they stopped something. Cleveland Cavaliers 2016 stopped a 73-9 Warriors team. That's a big deal in itself just because of how good the Warriors are. I think it's a big legacy statement for Salisbury to be the one team since Deontay's freshman year to eliminate them in the playoffs, especially with the history between these two teams.
I would compare this more to the knocking off of Tom Brady's Patriots by the New York Giants.
Yeah, but I don't want to bring up the New York Giants. I'd rather not.
Not here on this pregame show presented by Penrose Car Wash and Cooler Ice. I don't blame you, Jay. I don't blame you. I like blue, but not that color blue. It's the Rams getting ready to defend their state title back-to-back-to-back. They're looking to make it here from Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum against the Salisbury Hornets. You mentioned, Jay, the long playoff history. This is 5 consecutive postseasons that these two teams have met.
And so their third to last loss. So 3 losses ago, it was Salisbury getting the win, but it was in 2022 before Deontay Neal was here. It was 5-seeded Salisbury against 28-seeded Reidsville, and Salisbury only won by 6 points. The next year, Deontay's there. 2-seed Reidsville 59, 6-seed Salisbury 50 in the state quarterfinals in 2023. 2024, state semifinals now. It's 76-72. 1-seed Reidsville over 2-seed Salisbury, but get this. Exactly in this gym, exact same day, March 13th, 2024. A lot's happened since then. A lot's happened since that date. But the exact same day, exact same gym, Reidsville eliminates them. Then in 2025, Jonathan Hatley was on the call there. 1 seed Reidsville 77, 4 seed Salisbury 69 in the state quarterfinals en route to Reidsville's state championship repeat. 2024 semis took place in this Coliseum, so I kind of wish that had happened last year because it would have more meaning. But I would say it's possible, or more so probable, that Salisbury's got more motivation because of this. But more motivation doesn't always give you an advantage. Walkertown obviously had a ton of motivation to beat Reidsville for the third time this year. If it was just about motivation, they would have won the conference title. But here Reidsville stands conference champions and hopefully state champions.
In 2024, I imagine head coach Steve Forbes of the Wake Forest Demon Deacons was in this building to watch Juke Harris do his thing. He'll be here tonight. He's straight across from us to watch number 1 do his thing. Deontay Neal, one heck of a postseason. We'll break that down coming up here on your pregame show, brought to you by Penrose Car Wash and Cooler Ice in just a bit. You mentioned last year the win for Reidsville in the regional semis. A 23-16 fourth quarter by the Hornets in the regional semis, nearly toppled the Rams, dominant first half, but it was the championship-bound Rams that advanced to Lawrence Joel for the region final. The Hat Man was there and had the call.
And 3 balls off the mark, and Miles Smith misses. Rebounded by J9. J9 drives it up. Deontay Neal left side. 3 ball is good. 29-15 lead. 3:40 left to go in the first half. Right wing to Deontay for 3. It rattles in. Deontay, the 3 ball from deep. Ball's down low to Kendra. Kendra spins, and a good lay-in for Kendra Harrison off the spin move. 44-29 Ram lead. 4:12 left in the third. Smith off the mark. Kendra Harrison with a big rebound. Gives it to Deontay Neal. Deontay Neal kicks it right wing. J9 off the mark. But Cameron Jones comes up with the rebound, kicks it to Deontay. Deontay with the floater is good. 23 for Deontay Neal. 63-51 lead. 6 minutes left in the game. Deontay will bring it across the timeline. 5 minutes left in the game. 10-point Reidsville lead, 63-53. Left wing to Christian Scales. He brings it around to the right. Hands it off J9, right wing, three-pointer. Deep 3! Janias J9 Sharp, 16 points. And second one rattles home for Deontay Neal. 30 points for Deontay. And we're 9 seconds away. And the final shot is off the mark. Reidsville Rams are headed to the state semifinal with a final score, 77-69.
That's Jonathan Hatley on the call last year between these two teams, Salisbury and Reidsville, back at Reidsville High School. Tonight they meet in the state championship game in the 4A division here at Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum. It's your pregame show presented by Penrose Car Wash and Cooler Ice. Joe Dexter, Jonathan Hatley, Jay Ramey. We bring you the call of Salisbury at 23-7 and Reidsville at 23-1. Hatman, let's go back and visit that game. Your thoughts overall on the performance for Reidsville 1 year ago and Salisbury, and what you expect to see today?
Well, you know, there were some familiar faces in that matchup that we're going to see again today. Deontay Neal came into that game with nearly 23 points a game, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. Meanwhile, over on the Salisbury side, Braylon Taylor was averaging 17.4 points a game going into that one. During that game, Deontay, of course, you heard on the call, scored 30 points in that game. Braylon Taylor scored 27 points in that game. I want you to keep this number in mind. Reidsville started off with an 8-0 run to begin the game. It was 11-10 halfway through the first quarter. End of the first quarter, 17-10. End of the first half, 36-21 Reidsville. You get into Braylon Taylor had 7 points in the first half. Deontay had 12. Halfway through the third quarter, we're at 44-32 Reidsville. 61-46 at the end of the third. By that time, Braylon Taylor had 21 points. Deontay Neal had 21 points. halfway through the fourth quarter, Salisbury cut the lead to 69-58. Final score, 77-69, an 8-point differential after an 8-0 Reidsville run to begin the game.
We'll touch on that a little bit later on your keys to the game just before tip-off here on your pregame show presented by Penrose Car Wash and Cooler Ice. But you mentioned the two names. The key matchup to me in this game is Braylon Taylor, 18 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists against number 1 Deontay Neal. We're not sure if they'll match up defensively, but at least as catalysts for their team, that's the way it's going to go today, Jay.
Absolutely. And I was able to talk with Mike London. He works for the Salisbury Post, sports editor there, and he was saying Braylon Taylor's not a guy who's going to have 26 one night and 5 the next. He says he's going to be very consistent, so Reidsville's got to be able to not expect to shut him down completely. He's going to get some baskets, but he really likes to drive to the hole. He's not a big three-point shooter, just a dribble drive guy. He likes the mid-range shot, but he only scored 10 points in the state semifinals. He had big shot to tie it before half. His teammates really helped his confidence because I think he was kind of down on himself during the game, but he said in his post-game presser his teammates helped his confidence. Salisbury hasn't been in as big of a moment as this, whereas Reidsville brings a lot of state champions in football and basketball, and I think we got to mention that as well.
You mentioned Taylor, a season-low 10 against Central Davidson, a season high of 27 3 times, leading Salisbury. A big part to watch inside for Salisbury will be Blake Smith, who had 17 rebounds in the regional finals against Central Davidson, 11 of them on the offensive side. If Salisbury wants to control this game, they'll have to try and do it on the low post, and the big guy to do it is Smith inside alongside with help from the interior, with Perkins helping as a good rebounder at point with 5 rebounds per game, and also inside Green with some big rebounds, and Jones off the bench.
Yeah, I think the big matchup here, I honestly think that Kaufman is going to be matched up with Taylor, shooting guard to shooting guard. Meanwhile, I think you're going to see the matchup of Royce Perkins, freshman point guard, versus Deontay Neal, senior point guard. This game is going to be won or lost in Reidsville and Salisbury's backcourt. In my opinion, you got 2 premier guards on both sides. Obviously, Salisbury's got a little bit of a size advantage down low, but Reidsville's been playing against bigger teams all season.
Well, we'll mention it. We'll touch on it. Everybody in the state, in the region, is watching tonight for number 1.
Yep.
Not because of what he's done on the court and what he's earned, but because of the decommitment to UNCG. Well, what I'm going to tell you is they're going to get a show. And what I will also say, let me get my 5 cents here on the pregame show worth a nickel. Maybe a nickel some days, maybe a penny on others. That's not what tonight's about. Tonight is about celebrating what's already been accomplished and what is in front of him, and that what he has done as a player himself to get him into this position. We can pontificate, we can hope, we can do all those things. Let's enjoy this moment for number 1 because he's earned this moment no matter what happens in this game. I encourage those listening in to just embrace this moment, capture it for what it is, and worry about the other stuff later. We don't need to be out here on social media taking our guesses and our hopes and our prayers, and we know everything. This is this young man's decision. This is this young man's career. This is this young man's life. Let's enjoy it here on the court one last time and put everything else to rest for a Friday night.
Even legacy questions, too. Like, what does this ring mean for him? Well, I mean, if he hasn't proven himself to you yet, then nothing he can ever do ever would prove himself. He's done far more than enough on the gridiron, on the court, just in his high school career. He's been insane over these past 4 years.
This season, 36 points per game, first in the state, 7th nationally, 5 rebounds per game, 6 steals, which is first in North Carolina and 10th nationally, 9 assists per game, which is third in the NCHSAA and in the top 20 nationally, for the season in this postseason. 4 games, 30 points per game, 34 for 54 from the floor, 63%, and 87% from the free throw line with 29 assists in 4 games. That's with 1 game with the flu last time out. 10 points, very sick. We could see it, Jay, watching him on the floor. He was not himself, but still extended his streak. All 111 games he's played in a Reidsville jersey, he's had 5 assists or more. That tells you everything you need to know about the team game of Deontay Neal. The Deontay Neal Show, 2,701 points in his career, 57 away from 4th all-time. The first player in the state documented with over 1,000 assists at 1,102. 642 steals to just 227 turnovers, a 5 assist to turnover ratio. That's plus 1517, plus 1,517 assists and steals to turnovers. Unbelievable. 60% career field goal percentage. And in the postseason, 22 games, 495 points, just 5 points away from 500 career postseason points, shooting 51% from the floor in his postseason career with 205 assists.
And one thing you mentioned there is, like, he was sick last week, but it didn't stop a bunch of defensive attention attacking him, and that allowed Paul Cawthon Jr. to explode. And one thing that struck me is when I'm sick, I can barely walk, but Deontay Neal was still going faster than like 99% of not even just people, but athletes. It was crazy. So what's he going to be like tonight?
I'm willing to bet that game against Washington is maybe the first in his career here at Reidsville where he had more turnovers than assists. You don't see it happen. If it has happened, it's less than 5 times in his career. I doubt it. I think that might have been the only time. Well, let's recap that matchup against Washington, a 59-58 win. It was Paul Cawthon's hour in Greenville, North Carolina. 32 minutes on the court, 10 for 17 from the floor, 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 steals. This is a game where Washington dominated in the paint, 38-26, but the Reidsville perimeter defense did the job. The job was done up front by the guards, and including Neal, despite having the flu, holding the three-point shot to just 3 for 15 from the floor for Washington. In that first matchup at the John Wall, that wasn't the case in the first quarter. They got to a hot start. The Reidsville defense did what they had to do in that first quarter to set up the fourth quarter win.
And one thing when you're looking at Reidsville, when you're prepping for a Reidsville game, you know, okay, they've won against every type of team in every scenario. They've been down big, they've went up big, they've held on to tight leads, they've come back from down a little bit in the final minutes. They can work with absolutely anything. Now, one thing that struck me about that, they only had 3 offensive rebounds, and Washington's not a super tall basketball team. I'm wondering if they consider not going for offensive rebounds and just running back defensively into today's game, which may sound like a harebrained idea, but just getting set defensively. They didn't have their best defensive game against Washington. They missed a lot of shots. Washington did. I think maybe you just consider going for the offensive rebounds.
The Rams didn't hold a lead until the final 9 minutes and 8 seconds. Once they got that lead, they never gave it up on their road to the final stop on the Legacy Tour. Right here at Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum, it's the 4A State Championship game, the Salisbury Hornets and your Reidsville Rams. We're just about ready for tip-off. We'll have your starting lineups, the Star Spangled Banner, and so much more here on your pregame show presented by Penrose Car Wash and Cooler Ice. Penrose Car Wash voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County. Penrose Car Wash at 1509 South Scales has been serving the Reidsville and surrounding area for over 60 years. Established in 1970, this popular venue welcomes everyone. Penrose Car Wash open 24/7, and find us on Facebook. Penrose Car Wash voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County 3 years in a row. We bring you down to the courtside for the Star Spangled Banner. Your Star Spangled Banner, we take you back courtside for our starting lineups here in the 4A State Championship.
Contest. First, for the visitors on the scoreboard, our Eastern champion, the Rams of Reidsville High School. First starters for Reidsville, number 4, Jordan Robinson. gentlemen, we do remind you that one of the goals of high school athletics is learning lifetime values. Prior to the beginning of this state championship contest, we'd like to recognize two players who have exhibited outstanding sportsmanship throughout this 2025-26 season. Joining us on the court to present these awards, please welcome Commissioner of the NCHSAA, Q Tucker. She's joined by our North Carolina Farm Bureau representative, Hayden Benaraskas. With the following two gentlemen, please step forward. First from Reidsville, Chris Smith.
Royce Perkins, and Chris Smith, your Sportsmanship Award winners. Your starting lineups here in the state championship. It's Braylon Taylor at the guard for Salisbury. Royce Perkins as well, the freshman and the senior John Ross gets the start at forward alongside Darius Green, and Blake Smith is inside. For your Reidsville Rams, Deontay Neal, the 5'9 senior. Paul Cawthon Jr., the 6'2 sophomore. Frankie Galloway Jr., the 6'2 senior. Mario Ingram, the junior, at 6'2, and Jaquez Tynes, the 6'3 junior. Salisbury is coached by head coach Albert Perkins in his second season of 49-11 record. Your Rams coached by head coach Jason Ross in his seventh season, a 157-18 mark, 26-4 in the playoffs, looking for championship number 3 here tonight. This Sorry, having technical difficulties here. I think we're back now. It's time for tip. Mario Ingram will tip on the right side versus Blake Smith as we're ready for basketball here at Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum. It's up in the air, won by Smith, goes to the far side to the senior Braylon Taylor, left to right for Salisbury. Just underway here in the first quarter, nothing score. Rams in their blue road uniforms with gold lettering and numbering. Salisbury in their whites with gold lettering and red trim. No look pass inside to Taylor at the free throw line, into Smith with two hands, hard off the glass and rebound to the rebound man at guard, Paul Cawthon, who pushes it up the floor. First offensive possession for Reidsville here in the 4A state championship game. Cawthon had 27 against Washington in the regional finals. He handles it at the logo, near side for Neal. Neal with a one-handed pass to the wing, now in the corner. Galloway pumps on the far side, back to the top for Neal with one hand. 7:15 to play here in the first quarter. Inside to Tynes, off his hands, readjust, power dribble, off the front iron and rebound inside for Smith. Knocked on the ground, picked up by Tynes with one hand. Can't get the second chance, but gets another rebound offensively. Goes for a third opportunity and can't get it to fall. Smith on the rebound, behind the basket on the baseline. Up the far sideline, it's Taylor, and it'll go out of bounds. Rams basketball.
That might be more offensive rebounds than they got in the entire Washington game.
6:55 to play here in the first. Nothing score. Just underway here in the state championship game. Mr. Funny laughs. We do not have the rights to do so. Galloway hands it inside to the free throw line. Stop, no look. up in the air. Neal to Ingram, blocked inside with two hands by Smith. Up the floor for Braylon Taylor. Nothing score here in the corner for Salisbury, moving left to right. Stop and pop from the elbow, off the heel on the shot attempt, and a rebound for Ingram and the Rams. Cawthon right up the floor here near side from the wing, hands it off, long three for Neal off the side iron, and rebound again inside for Blake Smith. Taylor handles the basketball left to right. Nothing score here on RoCo Radio and RoCoRadio.com. Taylor with the left hand, works to the far side, covered by Neal. Back up to the top, working around the perimeter to Blake Smith. Back to the basket on the perimeter to the free throw line. Here's the jumper, in and out on the shot attempt from Perkins, and a rebound for the Rams. Up the floor, right to left. Stop the offense. Cawthon directs it at midcourt, near side wing.
Teams have had struggles scoring early in these state championships.
Up to the top for Galloway. Looking to set up the offense is Neal from the near side on the wing. Back to Cawthon and back to Neal. Neal will settle back to midcourt. 5:30 to play here in the first. Far side wing for Cawthon on the baseline. Far side, it's Tynes, trapped by two in the corner, trying to get the basketball loose. It's a jump ball forced inside by John Ross. .5:22 to play here in the first. Nothing score. And an inbound for Reidsville. Jump ball in favor of the Rams. So Neal pounds the basketball on the baseline, get it around to the perimeter. Now Cawthon on the far side from Ingram. Stops on the elbow, back to the basket and back out to the perimeter. Behind the back for Neal. Crosses, goes between the legs and resettles. Covered by Perkins. Back out to Galloway. Drives from the elbow near side with one hand. Off the heel, knocked out by Smith. Recovered by Neal. Baseline drive into the lane. Pump fakes and slammed down is the basketball by Smith. Loose and picked up by Taylor. Up the floor. Ross bounce pass. And Perkins tries to get the layup. It rolls off but falls back in for Perkins.
Foul is called.
And a foul on the play. Robinson to check in. Perkins to the line to shoot one.
Galloway got charged with the foul.
Robinson in for Tynes. Robinson has had one heck of a postseason. The last two games, shooting 6 of 8 from the floor. Several key buckets against Washington. On feeds inside. Perkins misses the free throw. Rebound to Robinson. Skies from the mid-post and up the floor on the far side to Neal, who stops on the wing. Bounce pass here near side. Pump fake for Cawthon. He drives inside just off the mid-post. Now at the low post, ball squirts low. Picked up by Ross on the steal and up the floor the other way. Perkins to the lane, draws the foul. It hangs on the rim and falls down. Perkins with all 4 points for Salisbury. A 4-0 lead. 4:30 to play here in the first.
And that foul charge to Ingram.
Perkins, the game-winning shot at midcourt for Salisbury to advance here. He hits the free throw this time. He's got all 5 of Salisbury's points. Rams down 5, 4:30 to play here in the first. Neal handles the basketball and passes it here to Cawthon. Cawthon looks in the corner. Saving it is Robinson on the near side, just in front of the Salisbury bench. Back to Cawthon, covered by 2 up front, and now to Neal. Neal works it back with the right hand. At the NCHSAA logo just off the wing. Looks to head coach Jason Ross to set up the offense. Rams down 5, 4 minutes to play here in the first. Far side, Cawthon looks baseline for Ingram with the pump fake.
Reidsville still scoreless.
Now off the baseline screen, it's Neal for 3!
Not anymore.
Deontay Neal. 5-3, Salisbury. 3:50 to play here in the first.
Rams were 1 in their first 8 shooting before Deontay Neal broke the drought.
Right hand for Perkins, picked up by Cawthon, tries to switch left hand. Great defense by Cawthon, draws a foul. Cawthon was draped all over him.
Timeout Reidsville.
3:39 to play here in the first quarter, 5-3 Salisbury. Today's game is brought to you by Penrose Car Wash, voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County. Penrose Car Wash at 1509 South Scales has been serving the Reidsville and surrounding area for over 60 years. Established in 1970, this popular venue welcomes everyone. Penrose Car Wash open 24/7 and find us on Facebook, Penrose Car Wash. voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County 3 years in a row. A 5-0 run to start for Salisbury off the hands of the freshman Royce Perkins, but Deontay Neal responds. His first 3 since the regional semifinals due to that sickness in the regional finals, went 0 for 2 from the perimeter, and that shot is back. A good sign here in the first quarter.
Royce Perkins rising to the occasion. He's got all 5 of their points, 2 and 1s. Only one other player has shot a basket. That was Smith.
Several common opponents between these two teams. Ben L. Smith, a loss for Salisbury, 75-59. A win for Reidsville, 80-77. Lincolnton, a loss for Salisbury, 75-68. A win for Reidsville, 82-59. Carver twice for Reidsville with wins, a 59-26 win in round 1 for Salisbury, and a High Brighton win, 57-49. Deontay Neal outscored Salisbury against High Brighton himself with a career-high 63, 103-75 in their matchup in the regular season.
Reidsville did better against every single common opponent, and there were 4 of them.
So the inbound comes on the timeout for Coffin, near sideline, middle of the floor now to Neal. Back to the near side wing, right to left for the Rams. Here in the state championship. Off the baseline drive, it's Neal, gets the ball in the corner. Now in the lane, back out on the kick out. 3 for Coffin. It's way long and out of bounds off the hands, I believe, of Blake Smith. It'll be Rams basketball. Neal to inbound.
I think it was Smith, too.
That didn't look right coming off of Coffin's hands.
5-3 lead for Salisbury here in the first quarter. Inbound to Ingram on the wing, back to the top for Galloway, working around the perimeter. Coffin looks inside, back to the basket for Robinson, near side, goes with one hand. Jordan Robinson on the feed from Coffin.
4 inches shorter than his defender, just rose up in the
Perkins is looking
paint.
to inbound. Coach Perkins wanted a timeout. Nobody saw it, but they do get it in. Left to right. Perkins past the timeline, gets it to Ross. Covered up top, the sharpshooter by Coffin. To the far side wing, looks in the corner. Back to the basket for Perkins on the far side, covered by Neal. And back to the top for Ross, just off the logo. Pump fake, and now a 3 from the top. Off the rim, rattles off the backboard. Rebound to Ingram, and a handoff to Coffin here near side. Goes with a crossover to the left hand on the near side wing. Spins out of coverage, gets it to Robinson off the elbow. Back to the top for Neal, who draws the foul. Deontay Neal
Doing what he does best, drawing contact.
Great ball movement. Robinson getting it to Neal. Cawthon with the feed.
And that one's called on Jaden Jones, his first.
Cawthon will inbound right in front of us here at the scorer's table. Gets it to Galloway, now near side, back to Cawthon. Takes a jab step and a second one, right hand into the lane in addition to Ingram. Ball loose, back out to the mid-post for Cawthon. Step back and a one-handed pass to Ingram at the glass. What a feed.
Good
Paul
find
Cawthon.
underneath, baby. Good find.
Mario Ingram finishes, and the Rams lead it 7-5. 2:15 to play here in the first. On the top, here's Taylor, spins in the lane, way up in the air, knocked loose. And a second opportunity off the glass with one hand, an open lane for Blake Smith. And Ingram on the floor.
Looks like he's just a little bit shaken up, not injured.
Evened up 7-7, 2 minutes
he's
to play here in the
that
first.
leg.
Jaquez Tynes, I imagine, will check in for him. Here comes Tynes for Ingram.
He limps over to the bench.
Reidsville Rams basketball after the make. Neal will hold and now up the floor, right to left. He barks in the offensive play call. Hands it to Cawthon, now back to Neal. Work the far side wing. Pump fake, stutter step for Galloway. His pass on the no look is loose. Past Neal, and it goes over and back. Coach Ross is irate over that. 1:50 to play here in the first. 7-7.
Yeah, uncharacteristic mental mistake from the Rams there.
Here's Perkins with 5 from the near side. Push pass with one hand into the corner. Looking to drive and spin, and it's in and out on the shot from Braden Taylor. Rebound again to Jordan Robinson, and up the floor for the Rams, right to left. from the far side wing. Right side for Neal with the right hand. One-handed pass in the corner near side. Looking to get to the lane on the baseline. Backhanded pass in the corner for Galloway from Coffin. The three doesn't fall. A rebound. Another offensive rebound for Tynes. Inside at the mid-post. Fading away is Coffin. No good. Rebound again
Another
for
rebound,
Tynes. And it goes to the glass. In and out. Poked away by Smith. Into the corner and saved by Salisbury. Saved far side by Perkins and up the floor near side to Ross. On the wing, covered by Galloway. Back to the basket, back to the top. Here's the three. It's off the front from Smith. Rebound inside, make it to Smith, and it won't foul. The shot attempt by Green.
Robinson got the foul on that play. 3 team fouls for the Rams.
7-7, Reidsville and Salisbury here in the first. That's a free throw from Smith is no good. Jaden Jones will check in for Darius Green. And Tyson Broadway, one of the heroes against Washington with 2 big threes, is in the game for Frankie Galloway.
Went 3 or 4 from the field in that game every time he was called upon.
57 seconds to play here in the first. All knotted up at 7 as Smith sets to shoot his second from the charity stripe. Off the front, rebound is brought in up on the far side by Coffin. Into the hands of Neal. Behind the back. Goes with a crossover. Works his way in the corner, draws the foul.
That foul's against Jaden Jones, his second.
Inbound on the far side. Coffin, no look in the corner for Neal for 3.
Oh.
In and out, and a rebound for Ross. Off the rim. Up to the top, now free throw line. Kick it from the elbow out to the perimeter for 3.
First 3 for Salisbury.
Smith with 5. 10-7 Salisbury. Pump fake near side corner. Broadway all the way to the far side wing for Neal, who finds a way in the lane. The teardrop doesn't fall. Smith, it bounces up in the air. Tynes gets it, throws it up, no good. And it's up to the free throw line, picked up. And up the floor for Salisbury. Stop and pop off the front iron on the miss for Perkins. Rebound for the Rams. Coffin near side wing. Neal looks in the corner. Broadway's wide open for 3. Off the heel. Rebound goes off the hands of Jones. Inside to Robinson with one hand.
Count it. Count it.
At the end of the first. 4 points for Robinson. Barry after 1 here on RoCo Radio and RoCoRadio.com. This broadcast is brought to you by Tri-State Steel in Reidsville, distributing quality metals for over 30 years. Our clients range from mom and pop shops and building contractors to large manufacturers and fabricators. Visit us at our 6,000 square foot, fully stocked retail metals superstore at 2513 Richardson Drive, where we can help you meet your homeowner or hobbyist needs. Open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a.m. till noon. From pipe bollards to square tubing to finger guard material and more, our retail metals superstore has several quality metal products in stock in various sizes and ready to be cut to your exact specifications. Call for a quote today at 280-4859. That's 280-4859 for Tri-State Steel, a value community member. Second quarter, 10-9, Salisbury here in the 4A state championship. Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Joe Dexter, Jonathan Hatley, Jay Ramey with the call here on RoCo Radio and RoCoRadio.com.
They got to get some shots to fall. Hatley mentioned it. They start 1 of 8 from the field. They've had a lot of opportunities inside, and Jordan Robinson, who's 5'11", is the only one who's connecting. He did well against Washington, 3 of 4. He's gotten a lot of rebounds. He was second on the team in rebounds against them, but they're going to have some other guys make those shots inside because they're getting to the hole, just not delivering.
Yeah, Reidsville, 4 of 19 shooting in the first quarter from the field, 1 of 6 from beyond the arc. Salisbury, 4 of 11 and 1 of 4 from beyond the arc, and the difference was 1 of 4 from the free throw line. Salisbury, Reidsville hasn't shot a free throw yet.
This is a team that shoots 53% from the floor and 53% as well here in the postseason. And just shooting 4 for 19 after 1.
Now, the positive is that it usually evens out. Like, you don't usually shoot.
Yeah, but look at those rebounds up on the scoreboard right now. Jaquez Tynes, 6 rebounds in the first quarter. Jordan Robinson, 4. They're getting on the boards.
They just got to finish, and once they do that. Braylon Taylor will inbound for Salisbury from the far side at midcourt. Glad to have you along here on RoCo Radio and RoCoRadio.com. The 4A state championship from Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum on the campus of Wake Forest University.
Braylon Taylor to inbound.
So Taylor will inbound from the far side at midcourt. Hands up in the air for Broadway of Reidsville. Trying to clog the lane. It goes to Ross here at the near side free throw line on the long pass. On the inbound and now past the timeline left to right. On the far side, trying to get past Cawthon. Batted away by Cawthon on the dribble by Ross. It is a turnover, Rams basketball.
He smacked it down. It bounced up, hit Ross's hands, and went flying out of bounds. What a play.
Inbound to Cawthon, now to Neal. 7:47 to play here in the first half. Broadway handles here on the near side wing. Back to Cawthon, and on the far side for Neal. One-handed pass at the top for Broadway. With 2 hands here to the near side for Cawthon. Working the perimeter of the Rams. Pump fakes, jab step, now back out to Neal. Long 3. It just misses. Tipping it up is
and
Ross inside.
With another
Robinson
board.
grabs it down, though, on the tip. And he'll grab another board. Jump ball in favor of Reidsville. Cawthon set to inbound here near side on the baseline, just to the left of the hoop. Cawthon looks to the top, trying to get it in, goes all the way to midcourt. It's tipped up by Perkins, almost stolen away. It goes out of bounds just in front of the Rams bench. It'll stay with the Rams. Perkins jumped up at midcourt to intercept it from Neal. But the Rams will hold with the basketball as Robinson inbounds to Neal. With 7:18 to play here in the second. Cuts in the lane. The teardrop from Neal off the front iron. Rebound inside to the ground. Almost getting it his times. Picked up by Ross here on the near side to the far side for the point guard, Braden Taylor. On the far side covered by Broadway.
Taylor's been held scoreless thus far. He's their leading scorer.
He's looking inside to the big man. Blake Smith can't find him. Great coverage inside by Robinson. Cawthon Skies trying to block the shot. And on the baseline, it's a layup. Floating it in is Taylor, his first points of the night.
Jinxed it.
12-9 Salisbury. 6:45 to play here in the second. Right to left for the Rams. Cawthon holds with 2 hands, looks inside at the elbow. Neal is hammered by Ross. He'll get called for the foul. I think we're getting some jump time here on the Salisbury bench. Deontay Neal, not the biggest fan of it, just a smile on number 1's face as he inbounds on the baseline. Pounds the basketball, bounce pass inside. Robinson skies and draws a foul.
That's probably going to go against Darius Green.
Jordan Robinson with 4. Had 8 against Washington. Has been a big presence here in the first half for the Rams.
Well, no, they called it against Blake Smith, his first.
Robinson was 2 of 2 from the line against Washington in the state semis.
Great feed on the inbound from Neal. Free throw from Robinson is good.
Well, Ingram's coming back in for Tynes. That's good to see.
Number 15 sets in the backcourt. Robinson exhales. Dribbles, now shoots the second. It's off the heel. Rebound to Smith. 12-10 lead for Salisbury. 6:30 to play here in the first half. Near side Perkins, pass line on the wing. It's Green back to the top for Perkins. The freshman works it to Ross on the wing for 3. Long, and a rebound goes to Green, who is ready for it. He'll draw the foul on the putback.
Yep, look like Frankie going to pick that one up. Nope, Robinson.
You don't want him in foul trouble. He's got half their points nearly 10 minutes in.
So Green
yeah,
to
that's
the stripe.
His second foul.
Green to the stripe to shoot 2. First is good.
And it was Salisbury that got in foul trouble in their state semifinal matchup. Their coach opted to leave them all in, and it worked out.
Second free throw is in and out. Skying up for the rebound is Smith. Bounce pass to the top for Perkins at the free throw line. Kicks it back out. It's stolen away by Neal on the far sideline. Up the floor, it's 2-on-1 vantage for Salisbury. Cutting through Neal! How did he do that? He's got 5. The finger roll at the cup.
From his first game to his last, these guys saying, how did he do that?
13-12 Salisbury. 5:55 to play here in the second. At the top for Taylor, goes for the cross. Coffin knocks it away. Wide pass picked up by Green. Now back to the near side wing. Taylor will hold it at the waist with the left hand. Now dribbles covered by Galloway. 13-12 lead for Salisbury with the basketball. 5:40 to play here in the second.
5-second call on Taylor.
And a 5-second call. The Rams down just 1, shooting 19% from the floor, 38% for Salisbury. Numero uno handles the basketball for your Rams. Far side wing for Galloway. No look to the free throw line. Coffin spins in the lane, stops, spins again on the pivot. Near side wing, just off the corner for 3. Deontay Neal's shot falls, tipped away by Broadway. Off his fingertips, now Coffin handles it. Offensive opportunity again for the Rams. They'll reset at midcourt. Screen by Ingram. Inside, step back, shot for Coffin. Off the side iron, off the hands of Smith. And back to Taylor. Salisbury basketball with a 1-point lead. 5 minutes to play here in the first half.
Coffin Jr. still hasn't scored.
The Rams have got to start converting some of these second chance opportunities.
We'll have a foul at the top on Paul Coffin.
We've got the second chance point stat. What we need is the second chance misses stat, and that's been wild.
5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. 13-12 Salisbury. The matchup is Taylor and Neal inside on the inbound. Just off the low block. Skip pass inside from Ross on the inbound, top to Taylor. Now Perkins to Ross on the wing. Pump fake trying to get past Galloway. At the free throw line, switches hands and draws a foul. Ross averaging 13 points per game at a season-high 26 against North Lincoln as he hits the free throw line. 12 points and 4-10 from 3 in the regional final as he makes the first free throw. 14-12 Salisbury. 4:52 to play here in the second. Second free throw is good. 3-point lead for the Hornets. Rams with the basketball right to left. Coffin at the top, back to the far side wing. Behind the back, step back for Neal. Now passes it into the corner from Coffin. It's Broadway. Back to the top for Neal. At the free throw line, stops and draws a foul on Perkins. Up in the air, drawing the foul into the free throw line for Deontay Neal, shooting 91% in his final season as a Reidsville Ram. Rams looking to cut it to just 1 point with 2 free throws here from Neal.
If Neal wins this, is he the only Reidsville Ram with 5 state titles?
In and out on the free throw. There isn't a long list, we'll put it that way.
Yeah. Like Tim Duncan, maybe? We're here in Wake Forest.
Second free throw for Neal's good. 6 points for Deontay Neal. 2-point ball game. Salisbury being pressed full court. Have to whale it all the way to the far side. Smith from Taylor. Almost stripped away by Broadway. Knocked away, picked up by Ingram. Up the floor, Neal to Coffin. To the cup with a finger roll. Paul Coffin.
Coffin's on the board and he ties it.
What a feed up the floor for the Rams offense as it's tied at 15 apiece. Far side, it's Green. Leaner in for Taylor. It's stolen by Coffin. What a pass up the floor. Deontay Neal.
Yes.
Showtime. Rams here in the state championship.
Coffin just threw up a Hail Mary.
17-15 Rams. Looking to answer the other way. Perkins scoop. Does it fall?
That's on the floor, it looks like.
Perkins says he wants it to fall, but the officials say on the floor.
Tyson Broadway's gotten a couple of fouls in the past minute or so.
We'll see if it is counted as a drop.
Well, he gave no indication that it was on the shot.
As we take a media timeout, 3:54 to play here in the Sailor, a 17-15 lead for Reidsville. State Championship basketball on RoCo Radio is brought to you by Cooler Ice. Looking for a fresh ice and water option that's ready when you are? Cooler Ice is countywide. Find fresh ice and water at Little Caesars Pizza in Mayadad at 6734 NC 135 across from Walmart. Or visit our local Cooler Ice dispenser at Schultz Hall, 1635 Freeway Drive in Reidsville. And for all your ice and water needs, you can also find us at Penrose Car Wash in Reidsville at 1509 South Scale Street or Two Rivers Plaza in Eden at 307 West Meadow Road. Get Cooler Ice, great tasting. Fresh ice available 24/7 at all 4 locations, 16 pounds or 32 pounds, plus premium water by the gallon or 5 gallons at Cooler Ice. Fresh and ready when you are.
David Woods isn't here with us, but he has one of the best comments of the broadcast. He says, I'm just going to quote it, I think Reidsville is just a little tight offensively. They're leading in every category right now with rebounds and steals. Once they get a couple of shots to go, it's a running freight train that Salisbury can't stop. I couldn't agree more.
And that's what we just saw in those last 2 possessions to take the lead at 17-15. Once they get up this floor, good luck stopping them. Inbound will be for Braylon Taylor of Salisbury out of the media timeout. 17-15, Reidsville. Pro hop in the lane with one hand. Taylor draws the foul and one. Just a one-handed leaner in the lane. Caught the edge of the tongue and found its way through the cup.
And Mariel Ingram picked up his second personal.
So all knotted up at 17 with Taylor at the line.
Right now, Broadway, Robinson, and Ingram all with 2 personal fouls.
Can't have that. Neal and Cawthon only have a combined 1, but you don't want the other guys in foul trouble at all in a game like this.
Free throw's good. 5 for Taylor. 1 point lead for Salisbury. Neal with the basketball on the right side. Working here to the left. Now Neal handles at the Wake Forest logo. 3:34 to play here in the second. Salisbury 18, Reidsville 17. Galloway with the basketball on the pass back here at the top. Neal gets it on the wing and to the baseline. Knocked away, saved by Ross behind the basket and right up the floor. Taylor at the free throw line. The pass, Sky, and getting the layup for 2 is Smith. Smith has 7. Far side corner.
These fouls are changing how aggressive they're playing down low, and you saw it on that last possession.
And that goes out of bounds just off the corner. A turnover for Reidsville and Salisbury basketball. The Hornets handle. Perkins with it with 3 minutes to play here in the second. Up 3. Lost in the paint. Stolen by Broadway. Up the floor. Neal is hammered. Still stays with it with 2 hands. He's got 10. He was literally almost knocked to the floor. Regained composure. Got the basketball in an open bucket off the glass. 20-19, Salisbury. Left to right for Taylor. Looking for a screen from Smith. Stop and pop from the free throw line. Got him. Braylon Taylor has 7.
Cawthon, what a
the
foul.
other way.
Nice
It's
over
Galloway
the top
with
to Galloway.
Galloway's on the board. One of 3 3-time state champions on the team.
Near side for Perkins. Goes crossover to the left hand, now spins off the elbow with 2 hands over Frankie Galloway. It's Braylon Taylor. He's got 9. Back-to-back buckets for him offensively for Salisbury. A 24-21 lead for the Hornets. 2 minutes to play here in the second. Far side wing for Galloway. Pumps, now back to the top. Skip pass in the corner. Cawthon thought about it, now drives, draws a foul. Push foul on the baseline for Taylor. It'll be on Smith, actually. 1:58 to play here in the first half. Rams down 3, 24-21.
Well, Smith's playing with 2 fouls now.
They're going to let Neal inbound, averaging 8 assists.
Inbound at Tynes and hand it right back in the corner to Neal. One-handed pass to Coughlin, back in the corner for Neal. Jab step, stutter, now off the pivot, bounce pass to the top. It's Coughlin inside the lane, loses it, picks it back up. Now in the low post, it rolls all the way back to the perimeter, picked up by Neal, who goes himself in the lane. On the switch of hands to the left side,
Where's the foul
Neal.
on that one?
12 points for Neal.
I can't believe there's no foul on that.
24-23. 1:30 to play here in the second. A lead for Salisbury. Ross tries his own crossover, loses handle, goes out of bounds. They'll say it's off the hands of Broadway.
I think it might have hit his shoe.
And Ross will inbound just in front of Coach Jason Ross of the Rams. Set offense for Salisbury off the inbound. Holding at the waist is Taylor. Switches to the left hand, picked up by Tynes on the far side wing. Into the paint, spins, leans, gets
Where's the travel? You've got to be kidding.
11 points for Taylor. 1 minute to play here in the second quarter. Rams basketball down 3, 26-23. In the corner, it's Galloway, the lefty, the sweet lefty on the baseline, loses it. It's picked up by Ross as it goes all the way to the far side. Low block and up the floor for Salisbury. Braylon Taylor, the point guard, to the far side wing. Long three for Ross. It doesn't fall. Rebound. Open rebound for Galloway and up the floor for Reidsville with 43 seconds to play here in the second. In the lane, trying to draw the foul is Neal. No call. The shot hangs up in the air, but we will have a foul on 34. Jaquez Tynes trying to get the rebound. Neal pinballed off of 4 people. No foul.
Reidsville is not getting favorable foul calls in the
Well, that
least.
should be the bonus.
That is 5. Salisbury 26, Reidsville 23, 37 seconds to play here in the second quarter as Smith heads to the line for the Hornets. Smith with 7. 5 rebounds as well for the Hornets. First free throws in and out.
Both teams have made the same amount of field goals, 10. Reidsville shot 30 times. Salisbury shot 19 times. 10 for 30 versus 10 for 19, and that's why Salisbury's up by 3 points.
Second is good for Smith. He's got 8. Rams basketball right to left, 34 seconds on the clock here in the first half. One-handed pass from Neal to Coughlin, back to Neal, far side wing. With the jab, whirl the basketball around and draw the foul.
That one's going to go against Jalen Johnson.
Free points potentially for the Rams bonus as Neal heads to the stripe. Deontay Neal already surpassing his total in the regional finals, now with 13 after that make. What a postseason. 4 games, 30 points per game.
Jabril Watlington checking in.
Watlington will check in. Broadway will fade back.
Watlington, the 5'11",
Yeah, he's trying to
165
catch
junior.
Green back there from cherry picking.
So Neal spins the basketball. Free throws, good.
2-point game.
14 points for Neal. 24 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Trapped is Perkins by Watlington and Neal. The pass goes here near side to Smith, trying to get off the low block. It'll be a foul offensively.
Foul.
Blake Smith got in foul trouble last time around.
Yeah, and he's got 3 now.
Some substitutions. We'll see Smith in. He'll come in for Blake Smith with 3 fouls.
What a momentum shift with 17 seconds left if they could seize the lead. Down 27-25.
Salisbury 27, Reidsville 25. They'll inbound all the way on the opposite side of the floor. Coughlin will let it roll. Neal will call the play as the basketball rolls.
And look who's on the court. Little sharpshooter, sniper, Karsten Dones.
He gets the basketball in the corner on the far side. Now back to the wing for Galloway. Tipped up in the air. Dones tries to grab it. It's stolen by Ross. Up to Taylor. Near side wing. Knocked loose by Broadway.
3
Picks
seconds.
it up. 3 seconds left. Heaves it up at the basket.
Oh.
Hits the net, but not the rim.
Tried to pull a Royce Perkins.
27-25 your score at the half. A lead for Salisbury. 27-25 Salisbury. Salisbury in the first half shooting 52%, 10 of 19. The Rams shooting 32% at 10 for 31, just 1 of 8 from downtown. Deontay Neal leading the way as expected, 14 points, 5 of 14 from the floor, 1 of 5 for 3. Leading the way is Braylon Taylor for Salisbury with 11, 5 of 6 from the floor, and 1 of 1 from the stripe. At the half, a 27-25 lead for the Hornets here on RoCo Radio and RoCoRadio.com. Glad to have you along. This is the time we like to ask you to let us know where you're listening in from. Last year, at this very exact game, the state championship, we had listeners from Texas. We had listeners from Tennessee, listeners from Kentucky, listeners from in the middle of the ocean, the J. Ramey ship. I don't know exactly where they were, but they were listening in, the Ramey family and company. We had listeners in for supporting Reidsville. Wait. So let us know in the comments where you're listening in. We thank you for your support. At the half, 27-25, Salisbury. Joe Dexter, Jay Ramey, Jonathan Hatley bring you the action.
David Wood said he'd be having a stroke right now.
I'm working on it, David. I am working on it.
David Steps says, I'm listening in from Sprain, North Carolina, home of Polk High University.
Oh, my gosh.
High school, I should say, the favorite high school of one Jason J. Ramey Jr.
Yes. Yeah, I'll just accept it.
We got Reidsville Ram Pride in the comments. David Wood says, I'm in my truck, man. You know he's grinding in that truck.
Well, that's his usual spot.
10 of 19 for Salisbury in the first half. Here's the story, though. 31 shot attempts for Reidsville, 10 of 31.
I think the story is that Deontay Neal and Jordan Robinson are the only ones who have made more than one shot. You got to get more guys involved, and they've tried to, but they're just not making their field goals. So you go down the list. Deontay Neal's 5 for 14, but then you keep going, and it gets worse, aside from Robinson, who's 2 for 2. Got 1 for 4, 1 for 3, 0 for 1, 1 for 2, 0 for 5. Just right down the list, everybody except for Robinson and Neal supremely struggling from the court. I don't think they've hit a 3 except for Deontay Neal's that was early in the first quarter. Got to have some other guys step up and make those contested shots inside. It's hard because they're shorter mostly, but we've seen them do it before. David was saying that he would be having a stroke if he was at this game. I feel fairly comfortable that Reidsville is not going to shoot 33% for another 16 minutes of action.
The one, the only Jason Ramey says he's listening in from Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum.
Section 115.
The alma mater. Tyler Lester says, hey, David, how are the Heels doing tonight? Hey, Tyler, are they being duked down? Are they being duked down? Don't mute me. Don't mute me.
They are sitting at home on the couch, aren't they?
Couch? I thought they were ACC basketball. What's going on?
They met a bunch of Tigers.
Oh. Not hidden either. 27-25 Salisbury at the half. Glad to have you along. Just about 10 minutes away from the third quarter here on RoCo Radio and RoCoRadio.com. 11 points for Braylon Taylor to lead Salisbury. 5 rebounds. For your Rams, 10 of 31 from the floor in the first half. Deontay Neal with 14. 2 for Paul Cawthon. 2 for Frankie Galloway. And Jordan Robinson with 5.
I think one thing to look at is Salisbury has only committed 1 less foul than Reidsville, but they've gotten nearly double the times at the line because they're getting these fouls while they're going up and shooting inside. Reidsville's got to be a little bit more disciplined while still staying aggressive, because we saw when some guys get in foul trouble, them being terrified of going up, to try and jump with them. They just got to be a little more disciplined with the slap on the wrist stuff.
One thing to watch here in the second half for me, fast break points. Reidsville ahead 8-5 in that category. They want to get in transition. They haven't been able to as much as they'd like to in the first half. I think we'll see that get going a little bit. A lot of that due to the tough on-ball defense from Salisbury. Surprisingly, in the paint, Reidsville ahead 18-16. A lot of that set up by the offensive second chance opportunities. Man, if Jaquez Tynes opportunities, 5 offensive rebounds in the first half. Most of those hit the first quarter. If those would have fallen, we might have a different story here heading into the third.
Yeah, I mean, 8 offensive rebounds when they only had 3 total offensive rebounds against Washington. And they haven't been able to capitalize whatsoever. I would be willing to say that they had more second chance points with those 3 rebounds against Washington than they have tonight with 8 of them.
Also, we heard from Coach Ross in the post-game press conference against Washington. I told Paul at half, just go get it, let it loose, go to the basket. We haven't seen much of that from Paul here in this one.
He told him no shot's a bad shot either, and Cawthon hasn't shot much this evening. 4 shots.
Just 1 of 4. 0 for 1 from 3. We'll see how the Rams adjust. One thing we know with this coaching staff, led by head coach Jason Ross, a 157-18 record in his 7 seasons, 26-4 in the playoffs, alongside Khalil Rahman, Gerard Neal, Chico Galloway, Brian Jenkins, and Justin Massey. They'll make the adjustments that are needed. But this is what this time is all about. Great basketball in the state championship game. Remember, guys, the box score against Washington, it wasn't pretty for Reidsville. They darn near got beat in every statistical category, but still found a way. The number that matters, Jay, +1.
Yep.
59-58. That's what both teams are talking about right now in the locker room. That's going to be the difference in this one, most likely. One big difference, though, looking at it, actually more of the same. 1 for 6 for Salisbury from the perimeter. Reidsville held Washington to 3 of 15 overall from three-point land in the regional finals.
So, you know, I love the strange stats. And I found one that I think is applicable right now because it's a really close game. Really close game. I think it's fair to say it'll be single digits, the final score, maybe. Single-digit games for Salisbury. When it was in Salisbury at their home court, they won every game. 77-73 over Lincoln in the opener. Just to start it, going down the list, they did as well. On the road, though, they lost every single-digit game. But unfortunately, this is not a road game for them. They're a little bit closer. And at neutral site games is where it gets weird. They're 6-0 at neutral site games. 3 of those games have been single-digit games. Probably just coincidence, luck of the draw, but they played some really tough teams on neutral sites, and they performed really well. Some teams that they've lost to a couple of times, they've beaten in overtime. They've beaten by 1 or 2 in these tournament games against tough teams.
And, of course, Reidsville's experience in neutral site games has been documented as well over the last few years at the John Wall. Of course, losing the tough one to Washington this year in regional final games here at Wake Forest, and their 4th consecutive state championship appearance. Hatley, I got a job for you, okay? I'm going to read you a comment from the comments, and all I want you to do is look into that camera with your reaction, okay? Ryan says in the comments,
look at the camera, Hatley.
Ryan says in the comments, can you call the refs and ask them to call the fouls? Deontay gets mugged every time. That about says it. Don't have to say words.
He kept his mouth shut, though. Good job.
We actually have video documentation. We don't need words.
If y'all think that Hatley doesn't do these facial expressions when we don't have the video on, you are gravely mistaken. Gravely mistaken.
At the half, a 27-25 lead for Salisbury, just about 5 minutes, 30 seconds away from the start of the third quarter. Glad to have you along here on RoCo Radio and RoCoRadio.com. This broadcast and our coverage all season long would not be possible without the support of our friends at Tri-State Steel in Reidsville, Penrose Car Wash in Reidsville, voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County, and Cooler Ice across Rockingham County. Thanks to them for their support if you're enjoying our broadcast coverage or dealing with it because you don't have any other options, help us out by supporting these local businesses that make it happen.
Now, I think Reidsville's done a good job defensively of not letting Salisbury get shots up. So Braylon Taylor was scoreless in the first quarter, but he's been making his shots when he gets them. He's 5 for 6. He scored 11 in the second quarter alone, the Catawba commit. You look at Smith, he's 3 of 4. You got a guy who's 0 for 1, and then Perkins is 2 of 5, 0 of 3 for John Ross. But everybody's been shooting well for Salisbury. Everybody's been shooting bad for Reidsville. I think when you're down by 2, getting more shots up and just missing those shots and being only down by 2, I'd rather be in that position than only being up 2 and making most of your shots when you can't get them up. Because, I mean, you can't usually control which way the ball is going to bounce. They've had great looks inside. They just haven't fallen. I don't think that continues for another 16 minutes.
What a run it's been for this Reidsville program. 20 straight wins this season. Over the last 4 seasons, 109-2. Those 2 losses, one to Farmville Central. They avenged that loss in the state championship game the following season. The other loss to Washington. They avenged that loss last weekend against Washington in the regional finals. The only regular season loss over the last 4 seasons for the Rams, and snapped a 63-game win streak. So they're battle-tested. 16 minutes to bring home a 3rd in a row.
There's just one thing I'd like to see in this second half.
Some shots made.
Consistency.
Oh, okay.
From players or other things?
Either blow the whistle or stick it in your pocket.
Oh, boy.
I would like for them to stick it in their pocket on Salisbury's side of the floor.
Well, that's what they seem to have been doing.
Thank you for listening to tonight's coverage. At home now. 27-25.
Joe drove us. He might leave us here. He might leave us here.
27-25 Salisbury. Over Reidsville at the half.
I don't care how you call it. Just call it both ways.
Gina, the commits was supposed to be going to Atlanta tonight, but had to cancel the trip. Stayed home to pull for our Rams. Love it, Gene. Love seeing you in the comments as well. At the half, 27-25 Hornets. Just about 2 minutes away from the 3rd quarter. For Salisbury, it's been a great run as well. They lost at the end of the year, but this playoff run has been very strong for them. One of their highlight moments. Coach Perkins said in their post-game press conference after defeating Central Davidson, we just have to stay in the moment. That's the key in their first title appearance since 1987. With their long history against Reidsville. Of course, this is the home of Wake Forest forward Juke Harris, averaging 21 points per game for Wake Forest. His head coach, Steve Forbes, is in the building. We assume to take a look at number 1 of Reidsville. But one thing we can't confirm that, but what we can confirm, guys, is that Steve Forbes pretty much owns this building. He can be here whenever he wants. And he decided to walk in about 2 minutes from when Reidsville faced Salisbury. That's what we know. Now it's time for the second half takeover for the Reidsville Rams. Down 27-25. 3rd quarter. RoCo Radio, RoCoRadio.com. Jonathan Hatley, Jay Ramey, as we bring you the action from the Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Winston-Salem.
I like the prediction from Brian Carter in the comments. Quote, Neil will take over the second half, unquote, all that needs to be said. Hold on to that. If he's right, you got to bring that up in the post show.
Put it on a T-shirt. It's cold.
Just says Facebook, and then Brian Carter. We got to get a deal with them.
Deontay Neal now over 500 career postseason points in his 23rd postseason game. He leads all scorers with 14. Salisbury will start with the basketball here on the third, right to left. Taylor handles it between the legs on the far sideline, just past midcourt. Now to the top with the left hand. Kicks it in the corner. Ross for three. Got it. 5 points for Ross. 30-25 Salisbury. Neal answers on the other way. The lane, into the lane. The one-hander doesn't fall, and up the floor to Ross. Has a wide open look at the basket with two hands.
Ross is streaky, and he scores 5 points in the first 25 seconds of the second half after going scoreless.
Will handle it. Try and settle things down for the Rams. 32-25 lead for Salisbury. Neal with the jab. Back to the top for Coffin. The teardrop.
There we go. Coffin needed to get a little bit more involved, and that's a good start to it.
32-27, full court pressure. Neal on Taylor. Now past the timeline right to left. Looking to switch hands. Neal's right there defensively. Trying to set a screen to Smith. Pass in the lane to Blake Smith with one hand. Rebound again to Jaquez Tynes. Up the floor, left to right for the Rams. Compton will stop on the far side wing. Pass it at the top for Neal. Neal with the left hand back to Compton. Back of the top, wide open three. Deontay Neal off the heel, bounces off the backboard and
Tynes
off the hands of Tynes. Gets it on the perimeter, back to Neal. At the free throw line, stop and pop, in and out for Neal. Gets his own rebound, power dribble, can't get the second to fall. Into the hands of Royce Perkins and up the floor right to left. Good defensive recovery by the Rams. It has to be a set play instead of transition for Salisbury. Ross for three from the wing. Way long rebound off the hands of Tynes in the corner. Saved by Compton far side and up the sideline. Goes in the lane with the Euro in the finger. Just off on the finger roll. Layup knocked away, picked up by Robinson. With the second chance, he draws the foul and to the line.
Robinson had a 90-plus yard kickoff return in the state title in football.
What a postseason. 6 for 8 from the floor in the last two games coming into today. 5 points in the state championship.
Well, that foul was called against Ross, his second.
First is off the front iron.
Seems like kind of the same problems with the first half, though. Missing good shots, and Salisbury connecting on just one or two shots that they're taking.
Robinson now 2 of 2 from the floor. The second free throw is off the front as well. Rebound to Ross of Salisbury. Gets it up the floor to Taylor on the outlet pass and into the lane. The leaner in and out. Rebound to Tynes. Another big board for number 34. Gets it to Compton from the far side to the near side. In the lane and out of the paint for Neal. In the corner near side. Drives baseline. Goes with one hand to the cup. Deontay Neal with 16. 32-29 Salisbury. Third quarter, 5:40 on the clock. Galloway up front with two hands extended, covering Perkins. Pass it to Ross, one-handed push pass. Near side shot by Smith. A hand on it, a bit by Robinson, but it falls for three. Blake Smith with 11. 35-29 Salisbury. 5:25 to play in the third. Trapped is Compton. Bounce pass back up to the top for Neal. With the left hand. Goes back to the right. Eludes defenders here to the near side wing. Picked up by Taylor, a screen by Robinson. Look on the baseline near side. Back out as it closes by Taylor. He gets the steal on the near sideline. Galloway with the recovery. He'll draw the foul. Will they count it and one?
Wow.
And a late and one puts Taylor at the line. 13 points for Taylor. What a game for Braylon Taylor.
Largest lead of the night for Salisbury. Up by 8.
6 for 8 from the floor for Taylor as he heads to the free throw line. Free throw's good on the and one. 14 now for the senior guard as Reidsville handles it. Left to right, 5 minutes to play here in the third. At the top for Neal. Wing the pass in the corner. Cawthon drives baseline, draws a foul. A one of his own.
Now look like Blake Smith underneath.
6 points
Now that's
for
4
Cawthon.
on Smith.
That's huge for Reidsville. 11 offensive rebounds in the regional final against Central Davidson. Now he heads to the bench.
And I think he leads his team thus far, or he's tied for the lead on his team in rebounds. He's accounted for 6 of them.
Cawthon's free throw is long. Rebound to Robinson at the free throw line. Back out for 3. Deontay Neal just short. And a rebound to Ross behind the basket. Ross covered by 2. Full court pressure. Robinson and Galloway get it up here near side Green in the corner to Smith. Smith back up to the top. Ross wing it to the far side. Pump fake. Now a step back. Taylor thought about it and hands it off to Ross at the top. Near side wing 3. It's knocked by Galloway, but it drains into the cup for Taylor.
Double-digit ball game for the first time tonight.
17 for Taylor. Neal on the far side. Neal handles it with the right-hand dribble. Back out, knocked away, saved in the corner. Winged up by Broadway, right into the hands of Taylor to the cup, who draws a foul and one.
Bad foul right there.
$19 points for Braylon Taylor and a 43-31 lead for Salisbury here in the third. The senior averaging 18 per game this season, already at 19. Now 8 of 10 from the floor. Taylor's free throw is good.
Reidsville going quick.
20 points for Taylor. Neal with the basketball. 4 minutes to play here in the third. Rams down 44-31. Working around the perimeter. Here's a Galloway 3. Hits the side of the rim. Rebound Galloway to the free throw line. Leads it in the lane. Off the glass and pulled down inside by the freshman Perkins. Up the floor right to left for Salisbury. Far side wing for Taylor. Stop and pop for 3. He's feeling it. The heat check doesn't go. Perkins tries to grab the rebound in the corner. It's out of bounds on the pull by Green. Rams basketball.
Green stepped on the baseline.
3:41 to play here in the third. 44-31 Salisbury. A big run here in the third.
Well, I don't think that one got charged to Reidsville. I think that was a media timeout.
3:41 to play here in the third, 44-31. Here in the state championship, brought to you by Penrose Car Wash. Voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County. Penrose Car Wash at 1509 South Scales has been serving the Reidsville and surrounding area for over 60 years. Established in 1970, this popular venue welcomes everyone. Penrose Car Wash open 24/7 and find us on Facebook. Penrose Car Wash, voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County 3 years in a row. Tonight's game brought to you by Tri-State Steel in Reidsville, distributing quality metals for over 30 years. Our clients range from mom and pop shops and building contractors to large manufacturers and fabricators. Visit us at our 6,000 square foot fully retail metal superstore at 2513 Richardson Drive, where we can help you meet your homeowner or hobbyist needs. Call for a quote today at 336-280-4859. That's 280-4859. The retail store, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon. Tri-State Steel, a value community member. Braylon Taylor with 20.
17-6 run in the first half of the third quarter. Made this a 13-point game.
Rams just 13 of 42 from the floor. Neal leading the way for the Rams with 16. The ball will roll to midcourt on the inbound as Neal picks it up. Half-court defense for Salisbury. Near side wing for Galloway. Back to the top for Neal. Galloway into the corner for Cawthon. Here on the near side. All the way across court. It's a 3 for Broadway off the side. Knocked loose by Neal and rebounded by Cawthon on the wing. Back to the top, Neal. Pumps, thinks about it, back to the side. It's Galloway to the baseline. Broadway in the lane, gets it. Titan Broadway with his first bucket of the evening, 44-33 Reidsville. They need a big defensive stop here. Taylor works his way, covered by 2. The foul.
Galloway, I think. That would be his 4th.
They wanted it on the floor, but it won't be. Instead, Taylor to shoot 2. Oh, nope, it won't be on the floor.
Yeah, they kept that one on the floor.
In the corner, on the inbound from Taylor. Baseline, bounce pass. It's Perkins to Green
Offensive
in the
foul.
corner, and an offensive foul. 3 minutes to play here in the third. Salisbury 44, Reidsville 33. Here comes Jabril Watlington for Frankie Galloway. Your 5 for the Rams. It's Watlington, Robinson, Broadway, Cawthon, and Neal. Neal handles it with the left hand. On the inbound, past the timeline, far side wing. Cawthon lets it fly. Long rebound, Robinson on the baseline.
Wow.
Readjust over 2.
Robinson.
What a game for Jordan Robinson. 3 for 3 from the floor. 44-35. Far side now for Perkins. Pump fakes the freshman. Back to the top here now for Smith. Covered by Watlington. Ross on the far side. Left hand to right hand. From the elbow to the corner on the pass. Perkins is in the lanes. He skies. Can't get it. Knocked away by Green. Picked up by Perkins. Stolen away by Watlington. On the baseline, it's in the hands of Neal. Up the floor for the Rams, left to right. Stop at the top. Now work on the wing, does Neal. Goes in the corner. Launch it. Paul Cawthon off the side rim. Rebound on the 3 for Robinson. Second chance. Broadway back to the top for Neal. In the lane. Floats. Levitates. Draws the foul.
Switch to his left hand. He's crazy.
That one looks like it was against Darius Green, his first.
So Neal to the stripe despite getting there irate with his teammates on the setup.
3 for 4 from the line tonight.
First free throw is good. Green will check
and
out.
Tony Dale Pagan will check into the game. I think that's the first time we've seen him tonight.
6'6" senior with foul trouble for Blake Smith enters the game in the low block on the far side. Smith will check in as well for Salisbury. Second free throw hits nothing but net for Neal. He's got 18. 44-37. Ross looks the inbound on the bounce pass baseline, trapped in the corner by Neal and Robinson. Taylor gets it up the floor. The bounce pass is good. Off the glass for Smith on the feed from Perkins. Now on the wing, top of the key. Neal to Cawthon for 3. Hits the front iron. Tony Dale Pagan almost with the rebound, but it goes instead to Taylor. Salisbury basketball on the far side wing for Ross. Slow things down for Salisbury. Make that Johnson with the make. He's got 2. 46-37 Salisbury. Trap from Cawthon, spinning out of it is Taylor. Leaner in the lane, the teardrop is good. It rattles home for Taylor. He's got 22 from the near side with that bucket, 48-37. Now they're forcing him into the fast-paced offense, and drawing the foul is Cawthon at the free throw line.
And Reidsville's players,
I think they said that was on the floor, and that's against Pagan.
Salisbury's trying to force the turnover offensively for Reidsville by pushing the pace.
Oh, that's the bonus. Okay.
So it is the bonus, and Cawthon to the free throw line for the Rams. Down 11, 1:17 to play here in the third. Cawthon with 6 in and out on the free throw.
He's struggled from the free throw line in some big games.
Five team fouls for Salisbury, 3 for Reidsville here in the third. Cawthon at the line, trying to cut it to a 10-point deficit. Gets it to fall. 7 points for Cawthon. Hornets basketball trapped in the corner by Watlington and Robinson. Almost stolen away by Neal, but recovered by Taylor, who will draw the foul on Paul Cawthon on the far sideline. He was working his way offensively towards the hoop.
Cawthon's second of the evening.
That'll be number 4.
Yep.
They'll say I think they're going to say it's number 5. Nope, they'll be inbound on the far side.
The player said it was number 5. It was not. He walked to the free throw line.
Ross will inbound from the far sideline, just off midcourt on the offensive set for Salisbury, left side of the floor.
Ross third on his team in assists.
Broadway looks to cover on the inbound. 2 hands extended out. Gets it into Taylor in the corner. Does Ross. Taylor will handle the basketball with the right hand. Cawthon covers into the lane with the floater. He's been devastating inside the paint. 24 for Taylor. 50-38. Heave 3 from Neal is off the front and a rebound at the free throw line. Goes in the hands of Jalen Johnson. Salisbury will slow it down. 45 seconds to play here in the third. Ross with the basketball. Pumps. At the top between the legs. Looks to drive through 3 and throws it up and gets it. John Ross powers the basketball. He's got 9. Neal looking to answer the other way. Into the lane. Draws the foul. Hits the floor hard. And will head to the charity stripe, no bucket.
5'9" versus 6'6". That's not a fair matchup.
He almost got the bucket off, too. Switched to the left hand, went for the scoop. Met a shoulder of Tony Dale Pagan. Free throw's good for Neal.
This is almost reminding me in a negative way of the Washington game, where Washington led in most categories and Reidsville pulled away.
Second free throw is good for Neal. He's got 20. Rams down 12. 25 seconds to play here in the third. At midcourt, it's Perkins switching hands left to right. Pass it in the corner for Ross. He gets the 3. Big Ross, big shots in this postseason. He's got 12. The other way, baseline drive. Back in the corner. We'll have a step out of bounds by Broadway on the pass baseline to the corner from Neal. 9.3 turnover here on the third. Salisbury basketball. Taylor takes it. Full court pressure from Neal. Near sideline. Neal bumps him and he draws a foul. Does Taylor. That's going to put him on the line with 4.3 here in the third.
Reidsville's playing panicky.
The man of the night, Braylon Taylor, with 24 points. 10 of 13 from the floor. Gets the first from the line. .3 here in the third. Second is good for Taylor. 26 points in the state championship game. Up the floor for the Rams. Watlington on the far side wing. Lets it go. It hits the glass, but no good as we head to the fourth quarter. 57-40 Salisbury here on RoCo Radio and RoCoRadio.com. A 30-15 quarter. Braylon Taylor, 10 of 13 from the floor, 5 of 5 from the line, 26 points. He took over in the third quarter. Rams down 17, 57-40. As we start the fourth here on RoCo Radio and RoCoRadio.com. Our broadcast of the 4A State Championship is brought to you by Cooler Ice. Looking for a fresh ice and water option that's ready when you are? Cooler Ice is countywide. Find fresh ice and water at Little Caesars Pizza in Mayodan at 6734 NC 135 across from Walmart. And visit our local Cooler Ice dispenser at Schul's Home at 1635 Freeway Drive in Reidsville. And for all your ice and water needs, you can also find us at Penrose Car Wash in Reidsville at 1509 South Scales or Two Rivers Plaza in Eden at 307 West Meadow Road. Get Cooler Ice, great tasting, fresh ice, available At all 4 locations, 16 pounds or 32 pounds plus premium water by the gallon or 5 gallons at Cooler Ice. Fresh and ready when you are.
If you told me that before this game, or before any of the 16 championships, boys, girls classifications, all 32 teams competing, that I could pick one team that could come back from down 17 in the fourth quarter, it would be the Reidsville Rams.
Let's hear it in the comments. We need our Ram pride going strong in the comments. Gene says we're going to come back in the fourth quarter. Anna says, let's go Rams. Tracy says, let's go Rams. We need to hear it for our boys.
Salisbury absolutely went off in the third quarter. 11 of 16 from the field, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc, 4 of 4 from the stripe. Meanwhile, the Rams shoot 5 of 18 from the field, 0 of 8 from beyond the arc, and 5 of 9 from the stripe.
To start the fourth quarter will be Neil Cawthon, Javion Hairston, Jordan Robinson, and Tyson Broadway. For Salisbury, it'll be Jones, Perkins, Ross, Pagan, and Taylor. Neal, no look on the wing to Broadway. Off the baseline drive, it's Robinson in the corner with the basketball. Hands it off to Neal. Near side wing, left hand, behind the back, step back 3 for Neal. It sticks between the glass and the rim. So with 4 fouls, it'll be Blake Smith checking in for Salisbury. If you're Coach Perkins, you got to love the job number 50 did, Tony Dale Pagan, with the foul trouble, the 6'6" senior. As he checks out for Smith. Inbound Ross, the bounce pass to Taylor, back to Ross, now back to Taylor. Full court pressure, it's a full court press for the Rams. Near side, it's Whitted, and Neal looking to cover. Ross with the one-handed pass, goes past the paint in the far side. Jones to Taylor, and it'll be a foul.
Looks like it's going to go against Deontay. Reaching in. His second personal.
7:29 to play, a 17-point lead for Salisbury. And an inbound for Taylor. From the right side of the basket on the baseline, goes high. It's to Perkins, step back in the paint, doesn't fall, rebound off the hands of Smith, dropping to the floor, knocking away his Perkins. Ross gets it on the wing, back to the far side. Jones will hand it back to Ross. Now back to the basket for Smith. Goes mid-post with the one-handed hook. Doesn't fall. Second doesn't fall. Rebound to Hairston. Up the floor, the far sideline for the Rams. It's Paul Cawthon with the left hand in the corner. Covered by 2. Wings it all the way back to the top. Pump fake for Neal. In the lane through 2. Can't get the layup. And finally gets the foul call.
He had to wonder when it was going to happen.
They didn't score in the first minute of the final quarter.
John Ross just picked up a foul, his third.
Free throw's good for Deontay Neal, 21, here in the state championship game. That makes every game this season outside of the regional finals where he had the flu 20 points or more. Second free throw is good. 6:59 to play. Trapped is Taylor in the corner near side to Ross. Just off the baseline. Trying to go up the floor is Taylor. He'll lower his shoulder into Whitted. The foul's going to be called on Whitted. So Perkins to inbound. The freshman inbounds near side to Ross. Gets the bounce pass. Goes back to the scorer's table out of bounds. That time I jumped out of the way. I wasn't ready for it. So Paul will inbound here near side. Cawthon gets it to Neal. Pass the timeline left to right. 6:50 to play. Rams down 57-42. Crossover step back now to the far side for Whitted. And back in the hands of Neal. Trying to find some room. No screen. Gets through 2 somehow. Skies in the run. Whoa. Deontay Neal.
Double clutch under the rim.
He had two in front of him, no screen, somehow eluded them to the left side, went baseline to the bucket on the low block.
Ross picked up his fourth. Green will check in for him.
So Ross and Smith in foul trouble. With Neal at the line. Free throw's good. Quarter century mark for Neal. Inbound for Salisbury, far side corner. Whittard will cover all the way at the sideline on Taylor. Now near side, it's Jones with a bounce pass back to midcourt. Braylon Taylor looking to drive, covered by Whittard. Gets it in and out on the layup attempt. Will have a push on the rebound attempt by Reidsville.
I think they brought Whittard in because he didn't have any fouls, and he's been very aggressive out there.
Yeah, and he got called for the foul on that one.
So the inbound.
It's going to be his second.
For the freshman Royce Perkins. Blake Smith gets the lob in on the inbound near side. Back to the wing for Taylor, covered by two. Whittard with the coverage. Inside, wide open look for Jaden Jones, his first basket in the state championship. 59-45 Salisbury. Near side wing, Cawthon back to Neal. Long three, hits the back irons, grabbing the rebound. I thought it was in the hands.
They say Paul Cawthon Jr. fouled him from behind.
Oh, that was a 50-50 ball. You got to let that one go.
From the elbow, Jones off his hands, and the foul called on Reidsville.
30-second timeout by Ross.
6:05 to play, 59-45 Salisbury here in the 4A state championship. Brought to you by Tri-State Steel in Reidsville, distributing quality metals for over 30 years. Our clients range from mom and pop shops and building contractors to large manufacturers and fabricators. Visit us at our 6,000 square foot, fully stocked retail metals superstore at 2513 Richardson Drive, where we can help you meet your homeowner or hobbyist needs. Open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and tomorrow from 8 a.m. till noon. All the metal products you need in stock in various sizes and ready to be cut to your exact specifications. Call for a quote at 280-4859. That's 280-4859 for Tri-State Steel, a valued community member. Inbound for Perkins. Salisbury basketball right to left. 6 minutes to play. They lead at 59-45. In the corner, Jones back to him off the hands of Green. Inside, Taylor's look with two hands will not fall out of bounds behind the basket. Rams basketball left to right. We'll have a substitution. Karsten Dones is now in for Demarion Whitted. The ball will roll on the baseline to midcourt. Meeting is Taylor. Neal picks it up, fires it in the corner. Baseline look for Cawthon. To the glass for Paul Cawthon. He's got 9.
12-point game.
Far side corner trap. Now up the floor near side wing. One-handed pass. It's Smith off the glass far side. It's the feed from Smith to Jones. Jones with 4. Far side wing for Neal. Covered by 2, gets through. Dishes it off. The scoop. And one-hander for Cawthon doesn't go. Rebound to Dones at the free throw line. Ball is loose here near side. And picked up by Braylon Taylor. Taylor looks to the cup with 2 hands. Draws the foul.
Broadway fouled him.
I'll tell you, 2-on-1 situation there for Broadway. He had Robinson cutting to the backside for help, but I got to call that one a smart foul.
Taylor nearly perfect, and perfect from the line now. 6 for 6 with the first. Here comes the senior Frankie Galloway Jr. for the Rams. 5 minutes to play. 62-47 Hornets. Off the front iron, rebound, skying for it is Robinson, ripping it away and up the floor to Cawthon, far sideline. Now Neal on the way. Goes baseline, backs back out. In the corner on the far side, looking for an open teammate. Has to pass all the way back out. It's Cawthon on the far side. Stops from the elbow, jumper, no foul call. Rebound to Ross on the box out on the baseline. Salisbury basketball, Taylor has it. It's knocked away by Robinson, picked up by Neal, goes for the easy lay-in.
4:40 to go.
27 points for Neal. 62-49 Salisbury. Stolen by Broadway. Off his hand. Out of bounds on the far sideline.
Nearly intercepted by the quarterback.
4:36 to play. 62-49 Salisbury. Reidsville will call a timeout with 4:35 remaining. 3 timeouts left for Reidsville, 5 for Salisbury here at the end of this matchup. In the 4A state championship, brought to you by Cooler Ice. Looking for a fresh ice and water option that's ready when you are? Cooler Ice is countywide. Find fresh ice and water at Little Caesars Pizza in Mayodan at 6734 NC 135 across from Walmart, and visit our local Cooler Ice dispenser at Schul's Home, 1635 Freeway Drive in Reidsville. And for all your ice and water needs, you can also find us at Penrose Car Wash at 1509 South Scales or Two Rivers Plaza in Eden at 307 West Meadow Road. Get Cooler Ice, great tasting, fresh ice. Available 24/7 at all 4 locations, 16 pounds or 32 pounds plus premium water by the gallon or 5 gallons at Cooler Ice, fresh and ready when you are. Salisbury 62, Reidsville 49. 4:35 remaining.
Well, Salisbury will inbound, far sideline off the timeout.
It'll be John Ross.
Ross covered by Neal on the inbound. Looks high inside, back to the basket on the elbow for Blake Smith, covered by Robinson. Backs out of it on the perimeter, almost stolen away by Cawthon. Goes right to the cup on the dish, finds Braylon Taylor. Taylor with 29. Opposite way, left to right for the Rams. Up top for Neal. Skip pass. In the corner for Whitted. Back out now to Neal. Neal trying to find space in the lane. It's closed here on the near side. Back to the baseline. Spins from the back to the basket to the floor. Oh. Somehow gets it to Whitted on the perimeter.
What a save.
Bounce pass to Broadway. Long three.
Oh, nearly from the logo on a college court.
5 points for Broadway. 64-52 in the corner. Back out for Salisbury, it's Ross on the wing. Picked up by Robinson. Tight coverage for Whitted on Taylor. Just off the midcourt logo on the far side. Now in the lane for Taylor, he spins on the pivot. It's picked off by Paul Cawthon on the baseline. Behind the basket to the free throw line the other way and knocked loose again. Green picks it up for Salisbury to Ross. Ross goes to the cup and draws the foul.
Now Neal will pick up his third.
John Ross, 12 points, 4 of 8 from the floor. As we have a timeout for Reidsville. 64-52 Salisbury, 3:30 remaining in this state championship, brought to you by Penrose Car Wash, voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County. Penrose Car Wash at 1509 South Scales has been serving the Reidsville and surrounding area for nearly 60 years. Established in 1970, this popular venue welcomes everyone. Penrose Car Wash, open 24/7, and find us on Facebook. Penrose Car Wash, voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County, 3 years in a row. You know, it's that time of the year. I got a silver Nissan Pathfinder, a silver Nissan Sentra. Give it a couple days, they'll be nice and bright yellow with that pollen. Get that pollen off the vehicle, head to Penrose Car Wash in Reidsville. Get that pollen off the vehicle, head to Penrose Car Wash in Reidsville.
One more time. No, okay.
Get that pollen off the vehicle, head to Penrose Car Wash in Reidsville.
That was a demand.
Vacuum out the car too, people. What are you doing? Vacuum out the car. I'm guilty of it more than anybody in this world. Thank you, Andrea, the beautiful wife, for doing it for us so that you guys had a clean ride in.
Thank you. I'm glad we didn't take my car.
We wouldn't fit in mine.
It's the broadcast season. We've got tables and cables and much more inside of our vehicles. Out of the timeout 64-52, 3:30 to play as Ross heads to the line for Salisbury. Ross pounds the rock to the floor, shoots the free throw, and makes it. John Ross with 13. Second counts. As Reidsville takes it up the floor, down 66-52, left to right. 3:25 to play. Far side wing three, it's Paul Coffin off the front. Rebound off the hands of Green, picked up by Neal for three. Can't get it. It's off the hands, I believe,
Carolina
of
Vision
Coffin.
caught it.
Nice catch out there by Carolina
We're going to have
Vision.
to clip that too.
Protecting Ronald Barker, our friend down there.
I don't know if he likes the basketball as much as you did.
Stays with Reidsville. Inbound on the baseline. Broadway gets it back to Coffin. Now to Neal. Neal on the wing. He shoots a long three, in and out. Rebound on the putback. Broadway, no good. And a Ross grab up the floor now near side Perkins. Perkins, middle of the floor, bounce pass. Smith with a two-handed jam on the feed from the freshman. Blake Smith with 13. Opposite way, Neal already at the free throw line, leaning in. We'll have a foul before the shot.
Well, that was Ross on the foul, and he is out of the game.
So John Ross
14
fouls out.
points, 6 rebounds.
Smith with 4 fouls on the floor with 2:50 to play. So that's foul number 5 for Ross. He'll get a big high five from Coach Albert Perkins on his performance as Jaden Jones checks in, the senior for Salisbury. And Deontay Neal gets ready to head to the line. 2 shots for number 1. .250 remaining. Free throw is good for Neal with 28. Salisbury 68, Reidsville 53. Second free throw for Neal is good. Coach Ross will call another timeout. 2 remaining for the Rams. 2:50 remaining in this game. Salisbury 68, Reidsville 54. The story, Braylon Taylor, the shooting guard for Salisbury with 29 points. 11 of 15 from the floor.
Sorry, there are people who don't go to Reidsville in the student section. That's a Rockingham County section. Love the support, though.
Thank you to our sponsors all season long for bringing us high school basketball across Rockingham County. Tri-State Steel in Reidsville. Penrose Car Wash and Cooler Ice joining us for the postseason run. Thank you for their support. What a great basketball season. For the Reidsville Rams, for the McMichael Phoenix on the boys' side, a playoff win at home against Surrey Central. For the Rockingham County girls basketball squad, bringing home a conference championship and a conference tournament championship, going into upset Croatan on the road. It's been a great year. Thank you all for listening in. Thank you as well to our sponsors for making it possible. We've enjoyed every minute of it. We're going to enjoy these final 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Taylor gets it in for Salisbury, far side. Green to Smith, dishes it off with 2 hands, and it goes in for Royce Perkins. And a foul. Perkins to the line.
If he makes this, they're back to their halftime lead. Or third quarter lead.
70-54 Hornets.
Well, Whitted picked up the foul.
Free throw hits front iron, a rebound by Broadway, spins and hands it off to Neal. Neal up the court, past the timeline, left to right. 2:35 to play. 70-54 Salisbury. Nice move and cut in the lane, leaning with one hand.
Oh,
he does it again, Deontay Neal.
He switched hands in midair through contact.
He's got 32.
Look at that replay on the board.
You know who liked that? Coach Forbes of Wake Forest over there on the far sideline. I imagine he's liking the show from Deontay Neal, who makes the free throw. He now has 32.
Well, that foul was against Jaden Jones, his third.
Inbound for Salisbury, up the floor for Jones. Jaden Jones trapped just off the timeline. Almost ripped away by Cawthon. Will have a timeout from Coach Perkins of Salisbury, their first of the second half. They lead at 70-57 here on RoCo Radio and RoCoRadio.com. 2:25 to play. Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum, home of Wake Forest, for the 4A state championship here on RoCo Radio, RoCoRadio.com. Some time left on the clock. 2 minutes and 25 seconds. 13-point lead for Salisbury. It'll be Watlington, Robinson, Neal, Cawthon, and Broadway for the Rams. Perkins, Green, Smith, Taylor, and Jones for Salisbury. Inbound for Perkins on the far sideline. Bounce passes into Taylor. Covered tightly by Neal. Tries to fake right, goes left. Near side wing pass. Here's the baseline drive and floater with one hand. The baseline one-hander for Darius Green. He's got three. 72-57 Salisbury. Neal for three, in and out. Rebound to Broadway on the baseline. Back out to the perimeter. Cawthon down near side wing for Neal. Drives, pushes it towards the basket. Can't get it to fall, and a rebound for Darius Green. Salisbury basketball right to left. Taylor up the floor. Passes it to Perkins. Stops in the paint and flushes it. Royce Perkins has 9. Other way for Reidsville from the elbow, trying to draw the foul. He does kneel to the line as Jones was draped all over him here on the near side elbow. 74-57 Salisbury as number 1 heads to the line.
Number 4 for Jones.
Free throw is good for Deontay Neal. 33 points in the state championship. Here comes the senior Chris Smith, your sportsmanship award winner, in for the Rams.
And I believe he's the only guy on the team to win 2 basketball rings aside from Deontay Neal.
Second free throw hits iron. Rebound to Salisbury. The push pass on the rebound goes to Perkins. Now trying to get up the floor right to left. It's Taylor on the far side. Gets past Cawthon. Now in the lane with 2 hands. No, but Smith rebounds back to the basket and draws the foul.
I think that one's going to be against Watlington.
It will be on Jabril Watlington. 1:33 remaining. Salisbury 74. Reidsville 58. Free throw doesn't fall for Blake Smith. Chris Smith will head out. Tyson Broadway back in for Reidsville. Some people are so disrespectful. In and out. Rebound goes to Cawthon. Near sideline to Neal. Far side for Cawthon. Now in the corner. It's a Broadway 3. Rebound. Robinson on the
again.
complete miss. And the putback for Jordan Robinson. 9 points for Robinson. And one timeout remaining after the call here for Jason Ross with 1:22 to play. 14-point lead for Salisbury, 74-60. For the fans streaming, no Kendre. You know nothing about Deontay Neal. You know nothing.
I mean, he's got the coaching staff chirping at him.
To act like it's not an accomplishment in itself to make it to the state championship game is beyond belief.
Salisbury 74, Reidsville 60, 1:22 to play. To talk to a high school senior and say that in the middle of a state championship game tells you everything I need to know about you and everything I already know about Deontay Neal, who just shrugs it off, doesn't even care about it.
He's about to hit 5 threes, and they're going to win it.
74-60, 14-point deficit for Reidsville, 1:22 to play. Inbound for the freshman Perkins of Salisbury. Inbounds to Jones, now up Perkins, wide open lane right to left, goes right into the paint and gets the bucket. Royce Perkins with 11. Near side for Neal, 3. Doesn't get a foul, rebound again. Robinson is battling every single moment out there. The senior gets a rebound at the free throw line and out of bounds in the corner for Broadway on the pass from Coffin. Salisbury basketball. One minute to play. Far side. It's Perkins past the timeline in the corner. Green looks to the basket. Jones draws the foul and one. 6 points for Jones. 54 seconds remaining. Here comes Galloway. In for Demarion Whitted. Free throw is good, 79-60. Broadway rolls the basketball to Neal. Picks up just in front of midcourt. Jets into the lane, draws a foul, gets the layup.
How? The replay.
Wow.
Hands.
What a play by Neal
He
to
can
the free
switch
throw line.
He can switch hands 9 times in midair. Still make the shot.
Free throw is good. 79-63. Coach Perkins is giving the ref all kinds of trouble. Two-handed jam here on the near side for Blake Smith. 15 for the senior. Opposite way, it goes up. And good for Deontay Neal. 38 for Neal, 30 seconds remaining. 81-65 Salisbury.
Just trade buckets.
The pass goes out of bounds in the corner off the hands of Darius Green. Salisbury fans are up after the Blake Smith jam. 26.6 remaining. Reidsville with the basketball. Here comes Deontay Neal off the floor one last time in a Reidsville Rams uniform. 38 points in the state final. Over 2,700 career points. 5th all time in the NCHSAA. Over 600 steals. A 5 assist to turnover ratio. And a career postseason with more than 500 points. We look, we await what's next for Deontay Neal. Far side wing, Galloway 3 with 20 seconds, splashes home. And on the opposite side, Braylon Taylor with the game of his life heads to the bench for Salisbury. As it goes off the glass and good. Reidsville with the basketball. Coughlin will hold. For the first time since 1987, the Salisbury Hornets are state champions. 83-68. Congratulations to the Salisbury Hornets, who finished 24-7. Led by head coach Albert Perkins. The magic in March ends in a ring. First it was against Central Davidson in the regional finals. A heave at midcourt. And a drop by Royce Perkins got him here. Then the guards did the rest for Salisbury, including your most likely MVP, Braylon Taylor. The senior, 29 points, 11 of 16 from the floor, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. The first championship in 38 years for Salisbury. Both teams shake hands here on the near side. Congratulations to Salisbury as they win it 83-68. Now's the time as Reidsville fans where we let it sink in. The final game for Deontay Neal. A career spanning 112 games. When he was needed as a facilitator, he did it over his 4 seasons. He could have been the lead man. Got his team involved. That's the Deontay Neal game. That's why he's the all-time assist leader in state history. Got to the state championship as a freshman, brought it home as a sophomore and junior. This year, he was asked to do so much. Take on the weight on his own at points. Averaged 36 points per game. The tops in North Carolina. Got his team back to the state championship. Tonight might not have went the way that the Rams wanted it to go. It definitely didn't go the way that Deontay Neal wanted it to go. But one thing we know is fact. Deontay Neal entered the Reidsville basketball lexicon as a phenom. He leaves it as a North Carolina legend.
Absolutely.
As we take you down to the floor for our presentations of the runner-up trophy and the championship trophy.
Sorry for the technical difficulties there.
The mixer got
You know, I sent a picture to the guys. On my scoring sheet, it says for the last time that a team played to mark what they did, won or lost, and by how many. Then it says next time for the next team, who they'll face next. And all I wrote were 2 dashes. And then final Neil game with a sad face. That's how you feel right now. But you remember everything great he did for this program. He entered with one of his best friends, Kendra Harrison, and did great things at Reidsville High School. Beyond the ring, beyond that, any championship, beyond the appearances. His impact on our community will be forever remembered. Those kids at the YMCA, those kids at the basketball camps, those kids that got pictures with him, those kids that will watch him at the next level, those kids that now know there's something better for them on the other side, those kids. That's the legacy. It goes beyond basketball, even at the high school level, for a specialty like that. As the coaching staff being handed medals, Coach Gerard Neal with an embrace with his son Deontay Neal.
many more good memories than that.
I know you mentioned the kids, Joe. I've got a son that is one of those kids that Deontay Neal has affected and touched in some way. You know, my son, I wouldn't say looks up to him, but he looks eye to eye with him.
It's those moments as a tearful Reidsville takes the picture after finishing second. This one won't sit well for them, but they should hold their heads high. You're talking about a senior class that went 109-3. Their only losses, one in the regular season and two in the state championship game. Two in the state championship game. That's it.
4 trips to the state championship in a row.
Celebrates their state championship and is introduced on the floor.
Accepting their championship medals and their championship trophy. Sorry for the technical difficulties with sound. We hope that brings it to you better. We'll recap what we said before.
Number 12, Jaden Jones.
We apologize for the technical difficulties here at the end of the game. Congratulations to Salisbury. They're recognized as the state champions. Albert Perkins, the head coach, with the state championship trophy.
To present these awards, please welcome from the Army National Guard representatives, Sergeant Rose and Sergeant Thompson. We'll start with the most outstanding. Was number 1, Deontay Neal. Congratulations, Deontay.
Deontay Neal, your outstanding player for Reidsville. His career ends on the 38 points. 38 points for his Rams.
And now the most outstanding player, powered by the United States Army National Guard from the Salisbury Hornets, Zero John Ross.
John Ross is your outstanding player for Salisbury. Braylon Taylor with a career game, 29 points, 11 for 16, and 6 of 7 for the line. So that's, but he might be the all-around champ.
I've got
MVP.
Yeah.
One player has been selected as the Charlie Adams Most Valuable Player. Since they were a long-time former NCHSAA Executive Director Charlie Adams. The Charlie Adams.
Congratulations to Braylon Taylor, the MVP. As we mentioned, 29 points, 11 for 16 from the floor, 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 4 assists to 5 turnovers and 2 steals. So congratulations to Salisbury. We'll wrap it up by saying this. It's what we said before our microphone died. It goes beyond the championships for number 1 in the senior class. The impact that Deontay Neal has had just away from the wins. Yes, championships mean something, and he's proven that. There's going to be a statue someday of that man somewhere. I'm convinced of it. I hope it's at Reidsville High School. But the impact he's had on our community, on our kids, on the game of basketball in the future in Rockingham County, that's unstated a lot of times, and a lot of his value is more than just as a basketball player. It's as a person. He's shown it year in and year out. Yes, he's a phenom on the floor, but he's also just a special kid turned to a young adult that's going to do great things and represent our community wherever he ends up.
And thankfully, with what you're saying, that doesn't end when the clock hits 0 on a state title game. His personality, his just good heart is not going to completely change when he gets home from this game at Wake Forest. So I think he's going to contribute to the community no matter where he goes. He'll continue to be an inspiration wherever he is. And Rockingham County's got somebody to look up to, not only with somebody who's successful, but with somebody who knows how to handle success. His head didn't blow up, even though if there's anybody that should have had a blown up head about this, it would be Deontay Neal. And humbled hype is the word for it.
38 points, 11 for 33 from the floor. Basically tonight he was forced to take every shot. Late in the game, forced to take shots to even have a chance to be in it long from 3. But that's not the story. 36 points per game. He stepped into a role scoring where that's tops in the state. This is a kid that's game is predicated on getting his teammates involved. A guy that leads all time in the state in assists, over 1,000 documented, 642 career steals heading into today. His legacy will live on beyond whether he got a state championship today or not. He's going to be one of those all-time greats we talk about in basketball history in the state of North Carolina. He Call me crazy. I don't care. I believe it with all my heart. You put him with the James Worthies. You put him with the Michael Jordans. You put him at the high school level with the greatest of the greats. He proved it on the court. And this is the thing about Deontay that will always stand out to me. Nobody believed in him. Yes, we believed in Reidsville. Yes, we believed. Yes, we knew he was a good player. Nobody believed that he's tall enough. Nobody believed he could score enough this year to get him to the state championship. Nobody believed that he would do enough to help his team. It's always something that isn't good about Deontay Neal. But the truth is, everything is good from Deontay Neal. Everything he aims to do is great, and we'll always remember that in our time. One of the special athletes that we got to cover, alongside Kendra Harrison and what he did here at Reidsville and the senior class. They will forever have an impact. This is going to be, when Hall of Fame nights happen, we'll see them continuously. When moments are remembered, it'll be those guys' names in this senior class that we remember in what they did. We can't take away from that in these small moments that seem big at the time. Yes, this is a state championship game. Yes, it would have been nice to three-peat. Yes, those things matter in the grand scheme. But at the heart and at the home, in our community, it doesn't change the impact that number one made and that number one will continue to make for our community and the people that he calls family and he calls friends. So it's just, tonight won't ever change my opinion on what he's done and what Kendra has done and what so many others have done for Reidsville sports. It won't change my opinion on the headman, Jason Ross, who moves to 157-19, because I know Jason Ross will have this team ready to go, fired up next season like they always are ready.
And, I mean, you mentioned it. How many times have you thought about the East Rutherford football loss? It feels like a big legacy thing in the moment, but 4 is a very, very, very large number for state titles. I mean, 4 is a big number for state titles. Nobody 20 years from now is going to be thinking, oh, well, if he just could have had 5.
And I find myself often in this role as protector. As protector, there's going to be people in the comments on social media saying, well, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, he should have done this, he should have done that. Did you score 500 points in the postseason? No, you didn't. Did you score over 2,600 points in your high school career? No, you didn't. Did you win state championships in your career? Most likely, you didn't. Did you have over 1,000 assists in your career? No, nobody in this state has. So, keep it shut. That's all I got to say as we exit this broadcast. And recognize greatness when you see it. Don't throw it away. Final score here, a win for Salisbury. Congratulations to the Hornets, 83-68. They win it for the first time, a state championship since 1987. For the Rams, they finished the season at 23-2. Another 20-plus win season for the Rams. A career for the senior class that ends at 109-3 over the last 4 seasons at the varsity level. 109-3. What a legacy for these Reidsville Rams that took the floor for the last time. Final score 83-68. It's time for your player of the game, brought to you by Tri-State Steel in Reidsville, distributing quality metals for over 30 years. Tri-State Steel in Reidsville. Your player of the game, it's your MVP. Braylon Taylor, he willed his way for Salisbury throughout, especially starting in the third quarter and through the fourth. 11 for 16 from the floor, 29 points in the win.
Yeah, Braylon Taylor came out after, I think he was held scoreless in the first quarter.
I think so, too.
And just took over the game. He had some good contributions from some other guys. Blake Smith had 15 points. Ross had 14. Perkins had 11. Braylon Taylor coming off that eliminated game from last season where Deontay Neal outscored him by 3. Deontay outscored him by 9 tonight, but he came out on top on the scoreboard.
That's your player of the game, Braylon Taylor of Salisbury. 29 points, 11 of 16 from the floor in the Salisbury Championship win, their first since 1987. Your player of the game brought to you by Tri-State Steel in Reidsville, distributing quality metals for over 30 years. Our clients range from mom and pop shops and building contractors to large manufacturers and fabricators. Visit us at our 6,000 square foot, fully stocked retail metals superstore at 2513 Richardson Drive, where we can help you meet your homeowner or hobbyist needs. Open tomorrow from 8 a.m. till noon, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. From pipe bollards to square tubing to finger guard material and more, our retail metals superstore has several quality metal products in stock in various sizes and ready to be cut to your exact specifications. Call for a quote today at 336-280-4859. That's 280-4859 for Tri-State Steel, a value community member. Tri-State Steel, one of the best in our community at helping others, at doing what's best for everyone in Reidsville and the surrounding area of Rockingham County. Thank you to Tri-State Steel for their longtime support of RoCo Radio and playoff basketball here this season. Well, we always thank you guys. Thank you for listening in.
Yep.
Without you, this wouldn't be possible. It's our privilege, it's our honor, it's a blessing to be able to bring you these games, cover these athletes, and try to paint a picture of the great things that our student athletes are doing across the community. Without our sponsors, it wouldn't be possible. Thank you so much to Tri-State Steel, Penrose Car Wash, and Cooler Ice all season long for your support. It's not possible. The butter doesn't churn without these folks. The best way to support RoCo Radio, the best way, is to support these local businesses that care so much about our community, our coaches, and our student athletes. And also you can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Radio Rockingham. I always like to thank the listeners. I always thank our sponsors. One thing I need to do more of is thank my broadcasters, Jonathan Hatley, Jay Ramey, all you've done this year to bring RoCo Radio Sports to Rockingham County. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. It's amazing, win or lose.
It's always great to be out there. We've been able to form a great friendship. It's something that's very valuable to me. You guys both are, and I just want to say thank you for all season long being committed to our athletes and being able to tell the story. Thank you very much.
Same to you, Joe. Thank you.
Final score here, a win for Salisbury, 83-68 to end the basketball season. We're not going anywhere. We got baseball, we got softball on RoCo Radio and RoCoRadio.com.
I kind of want to go home.
I might drive you there.
We're not going anywhere.
We might get home in an hour and a half,
I'm
2
not
hours.
sleeping in Wake Forest Gym.
What's the speed limit? 45? We'll be going 38 in 2 minutes. Don't worry.
Very accurate. He took back roads here, too. It was trying to make us sick on the way. If the nerves didn't get us, it was the curvy roads.
We got softball and baseball coming up all season long. We got a full week next week. Make sure you tune in to find where we'll be at facebook.com/Radio Rockingham. We've got rivalry baseball. We've got Rockingham and Reidsville. We've got a big series in softball in the Mid-State Conference. Walkertown able to take down Rockingham County in their first meeting. It's a 2-game set Monday and Tuesday. McMichael taking on Walkertown in a key game, not only in conference play, but in the 3A, Jonathan.
Oh, absolutely. You're talking a Michael team that was extremely, extremely competitive at the 2A level last year. Got eliminated in the playoffs in a game that I felt they should have won. And I think if they would have gotten a little bit more of a fair shake in some ways, they would have won. And, the team that beats them ultimately goes on to win the state championship. They're one of the favorites in the 3A division this year. And they've got some tough competition in Walkertown, in Rockingham County. This Mid-State Conference is really up for grabs.
And you mentioned that, Hadley. They could have won. I mean, with this many state championships, they've caught a couple of breaks. Reidsville has, because all state champions do. All NBA champions, Super Bowl champions have gotten a couple of lucky bounces. things of that nature. It's easy to focus on that, but also we have to remember that at East Carolina, Deontay Neal had the flu. He was at 30%, as Coach Ross said. Mario Ingram was out, and Paul Cawthon Jr. took over, and they won it by one. Probably a myriad of games over the years where, our teams have gotten a little bit lucky. And this loss hurts, but there has been so much winning, especially compared to the rest of the state, that it's impossible not to be grateful for being in Rockingham County and calling these amazing teams.
Final score, a win for Salisbury, their first championship since 1987, an 83-68 win for Jonathan Hatley, Jay Ramey. I'm Joe Dexter. Thanks for listening in all basketball season.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be back on the Baseball Diamond and Softball Diamond here shortly on RoCo Radio and RoCoRadio.com. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the NCHSAA 4A State Championship broadcast on RoCo Radio and RoCoRadio.com. Make sure you find the archive of this broadcast on our Spotify page or on Substack, RoCoRadioSports.substack.com. The NCHSAA 4A State Championship is brought to you by our longtime sponsors, whose passion is to highlight our student athletes on the court and the coaches that help mentor them on and off the hardwood. The 4A State Championship game is brought to you by Tri-State Steel in Reidsville, Penrose Car Wash in Reidsville, and Cooler Ice across Rockingham County. Tri-State Steel in Reidsville, distributing quality metals for over 30 years. Our clients range from mom and pop shops and building contractors to large manufacturers and fabricators. Visit us at our 6,000 square foot, fully stocked retail metals superstore at 2513 Richardson Drive, where we can help you meet your homeowner or hobbyist needs. Open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon. From pipe bollards to square tubing to finger guard material and more, our retail metals superstore has several quality metal products in stock in various sizes and ready to be cut to your exact specifications. Call for a quote today at 280-4859. That's 336-280-4859. For Tri-State Steel, a valued community member and a big fan of your Reidsville Rams. Today's coverage of the 4A State Championship is brought to you by Penrose Car Wash. Voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County, Penrose Car Wash at 1509 South Scales in Reidsville has been serving the Reidsville and surrounding area for nearly 60 years. Established in 1970, this popular venue welcomes everyone. Penrose Car Wash open 24/7 and find us on Facebook. Penrose Car Wash voted #1 car wash in Rockingham County 3 years in a row, rooting on your Reidsville Rams in another state championship game. Today's 4A State Championship game on RoCo Radio is brought to you by Cooler Ice. Looking for a fresh ice and water option that's ready when you are? Cooler Ice is countywide. Find fresh ice and water at Little Caesars Pizza in Mayodan, 6734 NC 135 across from Walmart. Or visit our local Cooler Ice dispenser at Schul's Home, 1635 Freeway Drive in Reidsville. And for all your ice and water needs, you can also find us at Penrose Car Wash in Reidsville at 1509 South Scales Street or Two Rivers Plaza in Eden at 307 West Meadow Road. Get Cooler Ice, great tasting, fresh ice, available 24/7 at all 4 locations, 16 pounds or 32 pounds, plus premium water by the gallon or 5 gallons at Cooler Ice, fresh and ready when you are. Cooler Ice, a championship ice distributor supporting a championship-level program. Well, that concludes another season on the hardwood, and I want to thank our listeners. I want to thank our longtime sponsors for making this possible. On behalf of my broadcast partners who've done a great job all season long in their dedication, I can't thank them enough. Jay Ramey, Jonathan Hadley, for what you do in bringing local coverage here to Rockingham County. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. Without our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to do this because of the cost. And without you, there's no purpose. And it's always at this time, fittingly, that I start thinking about the progress that RoCo Radio has made and just how thankful we are to be able to bring you coverage of our local high school athletes and be at the gymnasiums in the basketball season and in the press box at the football field and across the diamonds in Rockingham County and in our local area. Without you, it's not possible. So thank you for your continued support and growth. The best way you can help us is like our Facebook page and follow the content that we're creating. We're continuing into the softball and baseball seasons. We're going to bring you interviews throughout the summer and more content that you can enjoy as well at facebook.com/Radio Rockingham. That's facebook.com/Radio Rockingham. That's one of the best ways you can support us. The best way is to support these local businesses that pour their soul into bringing high school sports broadcasts. Tri-State Steel in Reidsville, Penrose Car Wash in Reidsville, and Cooler Ice across Rockingham County. If you need ice, you want to support RoCo Radio and what we do, the best way is to grab your ice at Cooler Ice and let them know that Joe Dexter, Jay Ramey, Jonathan Hatley, David Woods, and the RoCo Radio crew sent you. If you need that card washed, do it at Penrose Car Wash. And for all your retail steel needs, Tri-State Steel in Reidsville in the retail store at 2513 Richardson Drive. Support them. That supports us and lets us continue next season and lets us continue to build and make improvements year after year. So thank you to our sponsors for their support. Thank you for your support for these players ending their basketball careers across Rockingham County. Thank you for allowing us to tell your story. It's an important story when you take the hardwood and what you do on the floor. It sets up the tone for the rest of your life. You'll take so many things from what you do in high school athletics, and it's important for us to help you document them because, like any of our broadcasters will tell you, some of our best moments in our lives go back to competing in high school. Well, take care, everybody. I want you to have a wonderful rest of your weekend. We'll be back on the diamond next week with baseball and softball coverage. Thank you for your support all basketball season long. For Hatley, for Ramey, I'm Dexter. Take care, everybody.